wish that was the first thing I heard.
Welcome back to the Terra Sentia series. Yay!
Oh my god.
Where we take mushrooms to a whole new level.
Yeah.
But not in that
mushrooms.
way.
I mean, we're not on mushrooms.
Not all of us.
Why didn't you tell me that before? I took like a gram.
Is a gram a lot?
Jesus.
That's, yeah.
I ate like one stem.
Microdosing,
Well,
not macrodosing.
Yeah, yeah. There's a difference.
Okay, a gram is $1 bill. That is a lot of mushrooms.
It is a lot of mushrooms. I'm Bill. I'm the GM for this evening. Connor playing Ferg. Will playing Time. Fisher playing Experience Joy Within Sorrow.
What? Where?
I mean, experiences right now.
Oh, cool.
And Ashleen
Done.
playing Keth.
Yay.
Yeah, we're jumping back into our game after a couple of weeks. We now alternate our game between Will's Trappist transfer game, our sort of our transhumanity
Flagship sci-fi.
Seek the truth.
humanity survival, seeking the truth campaign, and our homebrew D&D crew. So yeah,
Homebrew crew.
So let's see. Welcome for those for any newcomers out there. And I think as a real quick recap, you all spending a great many years inside of the Kashar Forest, effectively being trapped. I mean, most of you.
I'm
are
not trapped.
I know.
Also, baby.
You're not trapped. You're
I like to remind them.
Yeah. there's that
Baby trap.
That trap of being a parent. Yeah.
It's more of a trapezoid.
It's the Parent Trap, part 3.
Hey. Wait, did they make a second one?
Let's see. And I think through a series of encounters over the great many sort of 5 years that you've been here, you all finally felt it necessary to head to the orcish capital of Kragst, where you feel that this entity, mysteriously known as the Rot Queen, resides within the capital and is part of the reason you believe why the demons are actually pushing their way into the Kashar Forest. But did y'all ever find out why they were?
Wait, in like a literal sense, or?
Yeah.
Didn't they basically combine with a strain of the mycelium and they're going in through the mycelium network that way? We don't know why they're in.
And wasn't What's Her Butt talking about it?
There are so many butts.
She was saying that they were trying to destroy the orcish way of life and break the barrier, right?
Hey, that's my proto-girlfriend you're talking about.
But that's what she said we were trying to do, so that leads me to believe that that's what the demons are actually trying to do, break the barrier. They want to open the Kashar for some reason.
And there's some shiftiness.
Yeah, and there might be multiple Michaux, and they're doing different weird types of magic, and I'm ready to punch them both in the face if there's two of them.
And Ferg will quite have your back on that one, because I'm a little disappointed by our last fight. I didn't quite get all the rage out.
You did.
Joy will punch them, but with healing touch. So that way they feel the pain, but they don't actually get that hurt.
Okay. Ferg might trip Joy and push him down.
It's like hitting someone with a phone book. It doesn't really count.
We'll unpack that later.
Yeah.
So let's unpack this right now. So you came up on top of the Kragst plateau.
Yes.
You pushed into the sort of middle area, or attempted to, and you got attacked by some mysterious folks with arrows in the trees, amongst other things. I think there was a sort of a force bolt that was fired at you as well from the distance.
Lightning bolt. My job.
Right? That is your job, and someone is encroaching upon said job.
You have spell sniper too, right?
Not having it.
No.
So, you all decided to scoop up a prisoner. That prisoner is their name is Leigh, and it turns out that Joy knows Leigh through hanging out with Michaux and Michaux's, he calls them his shadows.
Mm-hmm. Definitely not suspicious.
Not suspicious at all. Not shady at all. Really.
And this was a good, 4 years ago? 5 years ago?
Oh, for me, no. It was like I don't know, a couple months ago.
Oh,
but
so
Michaux's been doing it for a while.
Michaux's been doing this for a while.
Yeah, Michaux's been doing it for ages.
And
Leigh has been in the forest a lot longer than I have.
Correct.
But they also wandered in here.
And we know that the guy that we saw 5 years ago with Michaux, that I cannot think of his name right now, the guy that approached us the first time.
It's not Randall.
Ronan?
Rom. Yeah. I like Randall.
We know that Rom has been there at least for the 5 years, and that he's been a shadow the whole time.
Yeah, I've written it there.
Because we saw him at the beginning of our 5 years, so.
Yeah.
So you captured Leigh, you retreated into the entrance tunnels that took you up to the plateau to rest, and you basically found one of the rooms that were above the murder holes. You know that there was some foot traffic down below during when you were resting that led you to believe that perhaps maybe someone was looking for you.
Leigh said it was her people.
Leigh did say that it was her people.
But Leigh also chose us over.
Well, she chose not to.
She chose not to be obliterated.
Let's just say that Leigh is incredibly conflicted right now.
Mm-hmm.
We are starting to get her to think on our side, though.
She's certainly starting to think a little bit more outside of what she's been told for the last 2 or 3 years of
I think bringing the fact that Ramog sent us really started to get her to question herself. What? Wait, one of the Dothbar and Kesha sent you, and we're doing what? You know?
And they just trust her.
Well, it was a lot of talking, and she already knew Fisher, so there was kind of a.
Hey.
There was a lot of no, look, we've been living with the Blackfangs. We're not trying to.
Did you see the last episode?
Yeah.
So I liked it. I went back and watched it, and I liked it because of the sort of this is my truth, and you all were like, whoa, wait a minute. But then there were only a few things that lined up that made it even more confusing as to how you're sort of operating at opposite ends of the spectrum right now.
Michaux could be the same Michaux based off of all the information that we were given.
Yeah.
Because he was close enough that he could have been in the village and with the shadows on the same day. But that means he blatantly lied to us when we asked him about when we saw him earlier. Yeah. And if he didn't lie to us, then there's fucking 2 different Michaux running around, and one of them has this evil organization of shadows. What are we going to do about that? You know?
Or they both have an evil organization of shadows.
That'd be crazy.
I'm thinking there's a multitude of
Michaux may or may not be a shapeshifter.
Oh yeah. How's it going there?
Are you actually lying?
We're gonna brush over that part. And so I can ask.
We're not gonna brush over that part. We're gonna go straight to Ferg.
Yeah.
As Ferg probably looks at Joey and says,
"What the fuck? Why are you so? What about what I said made you react like that?"
And Leigh says, "Yeah, it looked really cagey, actually."
Okay.
Cagey.
I promise all of you, I am not a threat. I will not. I am not. I am not a shapeshifter.
Okay.
I have my silver pendant. I have the silver pendant I keep around my neck at all times.
To make you not?
Well, shapeshifters can't touch silver.
Oh.
Bink.
Is it real silver, though? Let me bite it.
Is that how that works?
Keth bites it.
I mean, that's my neck.
Keth, that's not how silver works.
You two make.
He already bit it.
You two make intelligence arcana checks.
I was gonna say I have science.
Or intelligence nature checks.
13.
Also 13.
I'll make a check to see if I'm a shapeshifter.
So you're not entirely certain that is a universal thing with silver and shapeshifters. Of all ilk.
Clearly, they don't watch Supernatural.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But Destiel.
Seasons.
All of them.
There's only 14. 15 has been announced, though. But it will be the last one.
Yeah.
I
love that our Venn diagram of nerd shit.
We've heard that for the last 10 years.
I just hate Supernatural because everyone's super fucking ridiculously hot on that show, and it drives me
it is.
Really?
eye
Why?
candy for me.
Because I like normal people. I like how
I mean,
look.
me too, but I also really like hot people.
I like...
Yeah.
Look, you watch 3 incredibly attractive, tall, muscular men go around America fighting other slightly less tall, even more muscular men. Like, it's not bad.
Perfect.
Like, if it could operate as supernatural and look like The Wire, I'd be totally good.
He's
I'm
6'1",
still
is the
shipping
thing.
Dean and Cass, so it's fine.
Yeah.
I
Wake
mean,
up.
I'm all
what is
about
this?
Rowena
The reason
personally.
we all watch True
We're so
Blood is
tangenting right now.
Because
Because of all the
we're all
sex and
really
beautiful
hot.
people?
Yes, but
Yeah.
that kind of made sense considering that they were vampires minus Stephen Root. He was not as attractive as all the other vampires.
Which one was he?
He was the
Ooh, Bill
he was the young fledgling but older guy vampire who was just kind of a couch potato that sat on his ass. So
Right.
Stephen Root played Milton in Office Space.
Oh, yeah.
And he was one of those real young vampires, but like as a human he was kind of older, and he was just sort of like frumpy looking and like and kind of a
Totally forgettable.
Oh,
Because he was
for
grumpy.
all the audio listeners, Bill is taking off his jacket seductively.
but continue.
Dun, dun, dun.
Anyway, back to me thinks about shapeshifty. What do you know then?
What do I about myself being a shapeshifter?
Either
I am
you
not
or-
one.
Or the shadows?
The
Well, why are you
shadows.
being
Or
shifty?
Michaux? Spill
There
it.
is a reason I carry this pendant. I have had
Talk faster and clearer.
I've had an I can't do both.
Time. You can just sort of sense
For he
out of
has
your
been helping
periphery
us.
that Leigh
He's broke bread with us
Thinking
as a
about
friend.
running away.
We should give him time to explain. I understand you're
nervously
angry.
glancing about, that kind of thing. She hasn't yet, but she's just sort of like...
I haven't had any tea.
So, like, time goes and
Let's spill some.
stands next to Leigh, and just kind of sits there.
Yeah. Oh, so I've been
They may seem distracted, but they know your actions.
quick tangent.
Do not ignore this one.
I was listening to the first couple episodes recently. I forgot that time is like 6'5".
Yeah.
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 She's real big.
I was just picturing a normal
Not
person
quite
height
the
and not
biggest.
like.
She's like Robert Plant, essentially.
A foot taller than
I had that
Ferg.
conversation with somebody else earlier.
But you're the only person who can look Cat in the eyes for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I tower over everyone.
I have had unpleasant dealings with a group of shapeshifters in the past, and they have been seeking me for quite some time, which is why I have ended up here.
In the Kashar?
Yes,
Okay.
because as to my knowledge, they cannot penetrate deep enough to find. Sorry, they to find me.
Tell me about the penetrating.
That together.
Yes. Well, there's too much bush for them to penetrate.
It's a real thick forest. Wait, what are we talking about?
Shape-shifting.
Shape-shifting.
Yes. Well, because for one minute you're small, the other minute you're tall. Well, that's the thing. Like, so the leader of this group I had thought was human. I had known them for years, and worked not closely but tangentially with them, until they made their true self clear to me, or as true a self as I guess a true shapeshifter can have. But they've been chasing me for 20 years now.
So true shape is like Loppy and evil?
No, as in murdering my best friend and then taking my best friend's form to try and murder me.
Okay, cool, not okay. We'll help you with that one.
Do not consent.
Put that the dice box
Ooh,
over there.
map time.
That's
map time.
mostly
so
for Will, since
I
you weren't here last session.
do understand your suspicion, but I
mean,
can be trusted, and the shade people. I have also. I have done my best to make sure that they are not of this ilk.
Okay, and Michaux's not a shapeshifter?
Michaux, I don't know.
Well, Michaux
But
that we
Leah-
know is a
Leah
druid,
not.
so we can't say he's not a shapeshifter. That is
Yeah.
ridiculous.
That is true.
But I don't. He definitely isn't all that he seems. Just based off of the Michaux that they know and the Michaux that we know.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of this is coming down to Michaux, and maybe we need to
We need to just find
step
that
on
guy.
his neck.
Yeah.
and ask
Or
some
talk to him.
questions.
if he doesn't shoot at us when we see him, sure, we can
We will
talk.
ask him questions while stepping on his
Voice
neck
box
so
is
we
in
can't
here.
go
Hear
anywhere.
Voice box is in
steps
here.
coming down the sort of I imagine
Coming up
you
behind
all
us.
I imagine you all just inside of the tunnels, like not quite out. And you hear steps that are clearly not trying to
Hide.
obfuscate themselves in
yeah.
any way.
Right.
And
Better work.
They said the both
you can-
said the weird same biggest word at the same time. What the fuck was that? Can nobody else like?
You spend way too much time together.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, Bill.
Very good word.
That was hilarious to me. I don't know.
You know where I first learned that word is through Vampire the Masquerade.
Bloodlines or
The
tabletop?
Nosferatu clan, they literally had an ability called obfuscation. And I was like, what the fuck is that?
Like I
obviously
said, Venn diagram of nerd shit that happens.
So I never played Vampire the Masquerade, but let me tell you, the novels and the TV show, like
Wait, there was a
so-
TV show?
Yeah. Oh
What?
my god.
Was this,
mind-
like,
Your world just opened.
was this like late 90s catastrophe beauty?
Yeah, it was 90210 for vampires. And it was
Yeah.
Good.
because it was
I
an
hope
Aaron
so.
Spelling show, right?
You're gonna look it up now, aren't you?
Oh, yes. I'm not going to sleep tonight.
It was, and it had the woman who. She's got curly red hair. She was in Starship Troopers. I love her. And I can never remember.
Oh,
her
yeah,
name.
the bug queen.
That's the instant heart on face.
She was also Natasha in GoldenEye.
Yes.
Kill people with their thighs.
Oh, yeah.
Hot.
Yeah.
Loved her. Rain of Fire also. I may have a thing for her.
I'm not sure if the mics picked us up, but they're in the room. There was an audible sound when she was brought up.
Anyway, so steps. Who the fuck's there?
Well, first of all, remind me where the entrance was.
Right about here, right?
It was in the corner between the two.
It's
of
from
us,
the
yeah.
waterfall, Bill.
Pointing off camera.
Right here?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So imagine there's a map. We're pointing right here.
Yeah, helpful. Super helpful.
Yeah. And if you want to, if at any point you want to pick that up and actually show the camera, and so that people have
It's good.
I'll do it.
Theater of the
I mean, I would have. I was just being sassy.
yeah, it doesn't
We
matter.
were here-ish.
I got the laser pointer here. We're right about there
We are super confident, guys.
in
Oh, yeah.
a cave entrance.
We're in rare form today.
Okay, so we hear people coming up behind
Yeah,
us.
and there's a lot of like the ground is mostly made of like kind of limestoney sort of rock, with trees kind of all around you, and there's someone coming off from the side to your left, and they're walking up, and you see this massive shadow just sort of like rowing across the stone, and then this creature shows itself.
Shadow.
And you realize, oh, it's not a creature, it's a boy.
Massive shadow.
Kill it with fire.
It's just how the sun kind of stretched it out. But but all of you but Joy recognize this boy. Barely. You haven't seen this boy in a really long time. You haven't seen this boy since you had dinner with Lucy July.
Possessed boy, kill it.
No, not possessed boy.
This is the
That possessed boy actually didn't make it out.
The other boy.
This is Cleaver.
Cleaver.
The one who stole the dagger.
Hardly know
the
her.
younger-
I mean,
Hold on a second. And Cleaver is looks completely different and is actually wearing camouflaged face paint. And his
What kind
hair
of camo?
is shaved down to like half an inch.
Wait, how old was Cleaver back in the day?
like
Probably about 8.
14.
No,
the older one was 14. One was
Yeah.
14 and one was like 8 or 9.
yeah, 8 or 9.
8 or 9 one.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so like 15 now?
So now, so now imagine this: he's practically a young man, and you see him. He has a dagger in his hand.
Is it?
He approaches.
We got that back.
He approaches you, and he approaches you with his hands out, and he says, "It's been a while. I've come to fetch you."
Where the fuck have you been?
I'm gonna ready my spells.
Who are you fetching us for?
They're right around the corner. They're really excited to see you.
Who
We need
is really
names.
excited to see us?
And how did you make it out?
What the fuck is this?
We'll explain in a second. It's a long
Possibly
backstory.
undead kid. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. We don't know how he survived.
He looks very much alive.
Yeah, but we watched the ship get eaten by a quarter kraken, so we're a little bit like, what the fuck?
And
it was hard to get out of.
Your grandfather is a lich, so there's that.
We've all been there.
He goes, okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
I've heard the stories.
Wait, so who specifically is asking for us?
Detect undead.
Well, they really wanted it to be a surprise. You really want to know?
Yeah,
Yes.
no surprises.
No
It's
surprises.
a really good surprise.
Do you know what we do to surprises?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's,
Do we know we do a surprise?
Berg doesn't like
Bogey.
surprises.
Bogenschultz?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
How is Bogenschultz alive?
Does the kid look
How
hurt?
was he dead?
Fair point.
Ask yourself that question.
Yeah, how are you guys alive, to be
I thought
fair?
Bogenschultz already was like a zombie.
No.
No.
Oh, not yet.
He was never. He was one of the human stewards that was kind of doing the thing, but he wasn't one of the undead BS stewards.
He was slated. His body was slated to, when he did die, his body would be given over to...
But he's a half-orc without tusks, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys found the worst airline.
We didn't find it.
We didn't find it.
us.
It literally sucked us into itself.
And we kind of know what's going on here. And
God.
we made a couple of new friends that you know.
The shadows?
No. Like actually friends of yours.
Who?
Names.
Names.
What's his name? Big guy, Zeph. And then Michaux.
I'm gonna sort of.
Hang on.
I'm gonna step
What
back.
type of abilities does the Michaux have?
Like I think he's a druid, yeah?
Like he can turn into animals and shit?
I mean, small ones.
Have you ever seen him shoot any lightning bolt thingies?
It's odd form of questioning.
Answer the questions.
I'm gonna sort of.
I'm thinking.
I
Keth's
sort
mad
of
and he
back
doesn't
up
like
and
Leigh.
Faster.
put myself between Leigh and this new individual.
He's like, I mean, no, I don't think so.
So Zeph is hanging out with Michaux?
And by the way, Cleaver goes, I stabbed your leg with a fork. And
Yeah,
and
you
didn't
did,
like
and
it.
I didn't kill you because I was trying to teach you table manners.
I know, but listen, if you're listen, Michaux and all of them, they said that you would be suspicious. We know there's someone else that's masquerading as him around here, and so I'm telling you that for you to know who I am. It's been a long time. I've survived in this forest for 5 years with a lot of help, and I'm just telling you right now, that's how I know you.
How? So you survived with help. How have we not heard of you yet? We've been hanging out here for 5 years.
You'll have to talk to Bogenschultz, you know?
Fuck, I hate talking to Bogey.
I can talk to Bogenschultz.
Why didn't you?
You were not allowed to
Hang
talk
on.
to
No.
Bogey.
Backing up. You've been in the forest for 5 years, and your mother's been trailing behind the Blackfang forest, and you haven't sought her out or your cousin?
And he looks really ashamed.
Why? I want to
mean,
know that.
Mommy
His
issues.
mother's
It's
evil.
better.
Hang on.
It's what
Don't give him an excuse.
It's what Bogey wanted.
Why did Bogey want that?
Listen, I don't want to talk for Bogenschultz, okay? He's right around the fucking corner.
Wait. There's another group over there. We can't be too loud.
Okay, Cleaver. We'll follow you?
If Zeph
Thank
and
you.
real Michaux is here, we'll be fine.
Yeah. Okay.
My
you
real
fine
Michaux
with
is
this?
not your real Michaux.
Oh, yeah, she's already ready to go.
And by the way, Cleaver this whole time is sort of like not passive in his sort of being a sentinel. He's just looking around constantly, he's really on guard.
I shift the wood pencil a little bit, so it's I've got a little more leverage on it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's go fucking talk to Bogey, because we remember how much fun that was.
You guys need an ambassador.
No.
I'm good with
No.
I mean, you can definitely talk to them if you aren't going to be as
Well, he
angry
always
as
said
we
he
are,
liked
but-
you. I don't know why.
You've met
And,
me.
Likes Ferg?
When am I as
And
angry
then,
as you guys?
Walks
what I'm
off in
saying.
the general direction that he was pointing to before.
Not angry.
And
Irritated.
brings you to a small, barely could pass for a clearing, and off to the side, kind of a little bit towards where the plateau kind of shifts on a downward angle. You're kind of nowhere near it, but you can tell that the ground is sort of slanting a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And
that edge where you're like, if you keep going, you're gonna fall off.
Right, exactly. And as you get into this clearing, you see Zeph plain as day.
Does Zeph have his dagger?
Of course not.
Oh, that's right.
We have his dagger, don't we?
I'm like kind of playing with my little medallion thingy.
I know.
Before we say anything, I want to look at Michaux like right in the eye and be like, the very first day that we saw you in the Kashar Forest, I made a stew and left it on the edge for you.
It wasn't me.
Have we ever even hung out?
Yeah.
Are we even friends?
Well, we've never been friends, and you know that.
Rude.
Come on.
What is this, 5th grade?
It's not like we've broken bread every night for 5 years. Like, we know each other. We're acquaintances.
Yeah, but we've like gone on adventures multiple times, and like we went. Was it you when we took back the thing to the Moonjaws?
That's another person to me. There's a difference. Anyway, we're getting into a deeper conversation.
Wait.
Listen, Keth. Someone is masquerading as me.
Okay.
We're figuring that out pretty quickly.
Yeah, well, I finally, for a great many years, I have known that the barrier to the Kashar Forest is shrinking. And I thought I knew how to fix it. And I was talked into a very specific sort of mode of thinking by Rom. And I thought that Rom was counseling me to do the right thing. And, well, I think that I messed up.
Why didn't you go talk to your Kesha?
Because I didn't know I was doing the wrong thing until it was too late. And I don't really view myself as having a Kesha. I guess I'm from the Moonjaw, but I don't.
Because of your actions, there isn't much Moonjaw left.
Well, I could say the same thing about your halfling friend.
Burn.
Yeah, that's fair. And you're traveling with her people, so what's up?
There also just isn't much left.
Can we just acknowledge that maybe
physically.
we've all made some mistakes along the way, and we're all here to contribute to rectifying them?
We'll rectify, but I'm perfect. I didn't make any mistakes.
Yeah, Ferg's been golden the whole time.
And
You guys actually see
Cleaver
time,
like rolls
too.
his eyes, and you hear,
Time sees all
well,
Oh,
in all
shit.
possible times.
well, I am just so ecstatic to see all of you. And
Hi, Bogey.
out from the bushes comes a sort of very light-skinned half-orc with their tusks sawed off, no mask, no face paint, nothing. It's just
Clothes, right?
kind of a hairless, completely hairless, no eyebrows.
No, but she's wearing clothes. They're wearing clothes, right?
They wearing
okay.
clothes,
You
yeah.
said you said nothing, like just you said light skin and then nothing. So I'm just like, hang on a second. Is Bogashil's just like bearing it all around?
When in the jungle.
But yeah,
They are actually very, very lightly clothed.
That's fair.
If I recall, no armor.
Yeah, it was like robes.
I mean, the robes have long
The
since
robes are
gone.
5 years old.
Yeah.
If you can't keep your robes for 5 years, you've got some issues with your clothing care. This thing.
And
the moths here are crazy.
it took me a while to understand how the fungus worked in terms of my clothing degradation.
Gross.
So I just decided at a certain point not to wear any clothes.
This was an interesting introduction. Hello, my name is Experience Joy Within Sorrow.
Oh right, sorry.
Oh,
Our
yeah.
dwarf friend.
Bogey.
I reach out to like
You have very kind
shake your
eyes.
hand. Bless you. Oh, thank you.
And Keth like kind of pats you on the back, but
And
it
they shake-
like makes
they
you fall
shake
over a
your
little
hand.
bit.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Not just gonna leave me hanging. Cool. They're a bro.
Is there anybody else with them?
It's those four.
Okay.
So how?
Zeph comes up to you and nods, puts his hand on your right shoulder, and he says, "It's good to see you, Raven brother."
It's good to see you too, Zeph. Have you known these people this entire time we've been here?
No. We came here independently to seek you out when Michaux realized that he was being played for a fool. No offense, Michaux. None taken.
That's super, actually awesome of you. Thanks.
So we came as soon as we knew that there was a problem, and we sort of figured that you would be heading here too. We knew that you went to the Grove of the Ancients, and we knew that your ultimate goal was to come here to see what you could.
How did Cleaver get into the city?
Well, that's an interesting story. So as I escaped the Sky Spectre, Cleaver was in dire need of assistance. So I
Oh my god.
Cleaver and a few others, one of which died shortly thereafter.
Through no fault of my own.
Is Cleaver like under your control now?
Under my control?
Like, did you magically save Cleaver? Like, is he good? Did he die?
So suspicious of Cleaver.
No. I'm
not suspicious of
the
anybody.
wording. I don't understand why they didn't go to, honestly, like...
You must be referring to the fact that Cleaver was a little rambunctious in his youth.
A little?
Well, how come you didn't take him to his mom?
It did not seem like it would be at all supportive to further disrupt her emotional well-being by introducing another person to the mix of what was going on for her. As I understand, she is still alive, but she is captive by the Blackfang orcs.
She is not in any way captive.
She's just...
She has nowhere else to go, so
mad.
she's grieving and following them.
Wouldn't she rather have her
That's
child?
not true. She actually,
No,
at a
'cause
certain point, she attacked Faye.
Faye, yeah.
Oh, I forgot.
And
about
then at that point, they did.
That was right before we left, you're right.
Yeah.
Not just attack, like...
That was still
Almost
5 years
killed
before
Faye.
she attacked somebody.
Trust me when and then Cleaver just interrupted and he goes, I miss my mom, okay? I've wanted to see her this whole time, but Bogey didn't think it was, the right thing to do.
Your mom isn't the best person.
No,
ever.
she's not, but...
And you see his fists tighten.
I know, I'm sorry.
But the words that come out of his mouth is, I know, okay, I know.
She tried to sell me into slavery.
If you need to fight about it, we can, once we solve this, we can go have a
I don't want to fight you.
No.
Do you guys need, a mediator?
Not fight. Just so you can, physically express your grief and anger. Because I can take it.
No, that's breathing exercises. Just
some people need to punch things.
Ferg breathes with their fists.
Actually sounds like a very monk thing to say.
That
Cleaver
makes no sense.
Cleaver
anatomically.
Cleaver was in fact not a very controllable or good person until after we experienced the horrors of the Kashar.
Horrors of Kashar? That's
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Where?
How did you do it was it just the two of you? That's insane.
It was mostly just me.
Bogey, I have a
That's
question.
Double insane.
Bogey's awesome.
Bogey's looking at you, waiting for you to ask it.
I haven't met many half-orcs or orcs who... I haven't met really any who weren't raised in the Kashar. Can you hear them? The Mycelian? Can you listen?
Not exactly sure.
It's more like a scream.
I did it once, it was bad.
I'm not exactly sure.
Down with the mushrooms.
My thought is that sometimes they visit me in my dreams. It's all quite confusing. As I understand, most of the orcs in the Kashar that are proficient with listening, they have some semblance of training.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have had no training.
We don't need to get into it right now, but in the future, I am somewhat one of the more proficient of the Blackfang at it. If you would like, if this goes in a good direction, I'd like you to feel like you're more of our people. You deserve it.
While this is going down, by the way, you hear a light grinding sound as time is kind of just
doing drugs.
A little bit off to the side and just grinding some soot and salt in a little pestle, mortar pestle over the course of 10 minutes ish. We're just doing a little ritual for comprehend languages. He's just does not feel engaged in this conversation at all. Like, let me know when we're ready to go. Like, basically, she's just off doing her own
we're
magical.
talking in common.
Why?
Joy's just hanging out with Leigh.
She wants to cast a spell. It lasts for an hour.
Oh, right.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, we might run into some weird languages and dwarven stuff.
Oh, got it.
I thought
Not
you were saying
engaged in
you-
the conversation because you can't understand it, but not engaged because you're just.
I misunderstood
No, she
that as well.
understands so many
she's
damn
good.
languages.
Yeah.
She's just like,
on
I'm
her
good.
mind.
She's like, I just need I'm gonna do magic stuff right now, and I'll figure it out.
Joy's the opposite. Joy understands all the words, just not in the order that they're in. Joy's like,
What are we talking about?
spaceship.
But eventually, you see her like take the soot and kind of like run a little under her eyes and kind of like over
hot.
her ears, and then she's ready to go.
So Michaux, you can see that as you have been talking to Bogey and Cleaver's been sort of like interjecting here and there, Michaux is having a very private, or as much as it can be private within being in the same vicinity with Leigh. And you can see that Michaux, he has both hands on her shoulders, and they're like very closely talking and kind of at a low whisper.
I'm definitely going to go over and check that.
And Leigh is crying.
Yeah, I'm
And
definitely,
sort of
I'm
like
definitely
and sort of
going
occasionally nodding
toward that.
Yeah. And so you come up and she looks at you, Michaux finally looks at you. The look does not appear to be someone that is like asking for help in any way. It just appears as though she's, I don't know, she's crying. And Michaux says, Joy, I have actually not seen you in a...
How long are you thinking?
I'm sorry.
Well, no offense, Joy. You've not been super impactful on my life. You were a
No, that's more than fair.
you're a fledgling within the shadows.
I hear that a lot.
So I don't even recall when I really met you,
Ooh.
but I
cast a healing word on myself.
That's fair. And he's saying this with no rancor or anything like that. He's and I got that from your shirt. Thank you. Fisher's wearing a rancor shirt. Anyway, but he said he essentially just he's trying to tell you that it probably occurs to you that you've seen Michaux like relatively recently, like maybe within the last like month or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But he's actually, I have to back up. I'm gonna say, so you said that you kind of came about at the beginning of like I'm failing with words. The 5 years that y'all spent in the Blackfang and the Kashar, that kind of thing. You didn't spend that 5 years in there, right?
No. I've only been in the Kashar like 9 months or so.
9 months.
Earth months.
And have you been a part of Michaux's crew for like what you said, 2 months?
Oh, I was with them for most of it.
Most of it. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
I was only alone for a couple weeks.
Perfect. Then that's exactly what I was thinking. So you remember seeing Michaux last probably about like 2 months ago. But Michaux remembers seeing you probably like 6 or 7 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Ooh.
So someone's imposing as Michaux.
It's not someone.
It's Rom.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Shapeshifter.
Spoilers.
Somebody's getting their legs broken.
Even threatening.
Zeph just puts his hand on Michaux's shoulder. You've been duped, my friend. Yeah.
Well, I think we should do this, but it sounds like the shadows aren't all bad. So maybe we should just like go for Rom and take him out. And if we have Michaux with us, they might all stand down.
That sounds like a good plan.
We have
Michaux?
to do something. Clearly something terrible happened here to dwarfs, griffins, and the orcs here. And they're trying to drop the barrier. If the barrier drops, the orcish people will be killed by Faunstein. There's nothing about it.
Unacceptable
Can
outcome.
Is there? So I know that the Kashar was a backup. Is there a backup?
We get
like
Kragst flying again.
Well, that is
and
that
then somehow get the 3 tribes onto it.
Is that an acceptable contingency plan? Is there some way you can contact them from afar
Yeah, you have like
Perhaps.
a horn.
I'm sure there's like somewhat like
that works.
there's some way that I'm sure there's some way that okay. This is OOC, but there has to be some way from like the plateau of Kragst to like signal fire or something to like the other villages. There's got to be some kind of system like that. But I wouldn't have like I personally would not have a way to just be like, hey yo, mom, can you hear me? Cool. Yeah, come get all your peeps on our ship. Like yeah.
I can definitely like if we hit the library, figure out how we signal the tribes to get here if we need to make the city fly.
I kind of want to say we use like more like the like Aboriginal kind of like methods, right? Like the piece of wood attached to a rope that you spin around, right? That just like I'm basically thinking like Crocodile Dundee too, where it creates this like massive roaring sound, right? And from up high, I mean that's gonna stretch out through. It's a low drone.
Or we go like Kern with like the drum halls, like the drum towers.
That kind of idea, yeah. It's like it's that low resonance that travels very far, and there's going to be listeners, right? And like the forest is going to commute. I imagine that's like a way of
like using the forest. That's cool. Yeah. Anyway, that was all out of character. We were deciding how the
no, that's exactly what time. It's just
that's how that works.
Out of character at all.
So if some of us go after BIC, if some of us
that's a pen
go after. It's a good pen. If some of us go after Michaux and some of us try and
I'm right here.
Sorry.
We're
bad
going
show.
after Rom.
Sorry.
Rom.
My Michaux is Rom.
There's only one Michaux. Just say Rom.
Rom. Sorry. I spent a
Rom
long time with...
I know, it's been confusing.
Rom.
I'm just trying to bring a little semblance of order to my own identity.
Sorry. Rom. We can go after Rom. And then, I don't know, we send somebody to find some way to contact everyone here just in case things do go wrong.
We should probably stick together.
Well, the us, sure, but like I don't know, like on a scale of 1 to 10, how valuable is Cleaver over here?
Yeah,
like
he's like,
well, we're not gonna kill him.
Hey, Cleaver, can you read?
Of course he can.
Are you trying to stat his value?
No.
He gives you the.
Oh, your teeth.
He definitely like up until this point he seemed like pretty well behaved, but this is the first time the July phase comes out, and he just gives you like, what the fuck, man? Do you know who I am?
No, like you seem adept. You are clever.
Yeah.
You are fast. If anyone needs, if any of us can like get out and get something done quickly alone, it would be you.
I would actually not recommend that.
Yeah, I don't think we should send him by himself. I don't know what you do with little dwarfs, but we don't generally send the young ones off on missions by themselves with blob tars and
send anybody.
You
send me.
Yeah, you send the champion.
Or
but we could honestly use
somebody
him.
here has a
That's
fucking
kind of what I was thinking.
Bird.
How far can Junebug get from you?
Yes, why aren't we talking about your familiar? Stop with the salt for 1 second.
She's like, does a moment, and then finishes the ritual.
Stop fingering me!
And in the background. Rude.
I mean, how old is Cleaver? What, 45?
Not going to be able to carry a message. That's not.
Oh, yeah, you guys are like,
unless we tied a message.
Forgot
to
about
June.
humans.
I could send June to go do a thing.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, they're humans.
Forgot about humans. Whoops.
So do I.
I was thinking that.
Yeah.
Not...
Yeah, how far?
Although I did very much enjoy and feel that it would work, your, what did you call it, your crocodile method.
Yeah. Let's call it that.
Let's call it.
Yeah.
Can we call
Dundeeing.
it? Can we call it?
I believe that's
the
very
Dundee
sound
horn?
mycological science.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh, I know lots about mycological science.
Great.
Yeah, let's do that. I mean, we're at the highest point, so I feel like it needs to be.
The highest point's up that way.
But we should probably take care of the shadows and Rom. And
this is what I was thinking.
Undead grossness.
Yeah.
Well,
first.
Sounds good to me.
Here is where we will engage in a little bit of a fun little handing out of people. So you have 4 extra NPCs, and I am asking all of you, who would you like to control?
One guess.
Well, I don't want you to guess. I want you to just say it. No order. No particular order.
Who you want?
I'll go for the kid. Give me Cleaver.
You're gonna go for Cleaver.
Yeah. Zeph, I guess.
I kind of want Bogey. Who do you want?
Well, obviously I want Leigh.
Oh, that was perfect.
You were not allowed to fall in love with yourself.
We all wanted different people. High five, group.
I was thinking Bogey, but like Bogey's just I don't want to like piss myself off.
Yeah, just
So-
use it.
I want
Wait,
you
who
to
are you
piss
gonna be?
me off.
Zeph.
Zeph?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be Bogey, and Fisher's gonna go for Leigh.
No.
Oh, Michaux
Leigh is not available.
is the other
It is
option.
Michaux.
Oh,
It's
Michaux.
Michaux faux show.
I mean, obviously I should be the most
feel
powerful
free to
character.
switch if you'd
Do
like
you want
to
to be?
switch.
You can be whoever you want. I just think it'd be fun to play Bogey, but if you want to be
Please,
Michaux, go for
do.
it. Okay, cool.
I'll do my best.
Okay.
I believe in you.
Good start.
1d8 is two-handed for the spear.
Correct.
Moonjaw. Ooh, professor bonus.
And don't forget that
I need
one up
that.
there.
Professor.
I used to be a professor. Says joy to no one in particular.
All right.
All right.
Reading an imaginary stat card.
So, what shall you do?
Hey, Michaux, on a scale of 1 to 20, how strong are you? I'd say like a 13. I don't know.
That was very
didn't
Christian
Michaux
Bale
become
Batman.
Michelle's not Batman. If anybody's Batman, it's Zeph.
Oh.
Yeah, Zeph is the.
And to be fair, like I gave you their stats to sort of like if we get into combat or whatever, I would like you to be aware that when we roll for initiative, we're still going to roll just for all of you for initiative, but the NPCs will go on your initiatives.
Okay.
Okay.
Just to make it easy and simple.
Why is Michelle's shield better than mine?
Because you're carrying around a piece of wood, Fisher. We can get back into this in a second.
Yeah, don't get distracted. Let's do this.
Wait, I actually don't understand what you mean.
Oh, my shield is a +1 and Michelle's is a +2.
Shields are normally a +2. Why is yours a +1?
Period. That's on you.
No, I don't know. Because when I took it, it had a +1.
You have made a mistake.
Unless it's a +1 shield, in which case its actual bonus is +3.
+3.
I don't
Oh,
think it's a
no.
magical.
You know what? I think that it was because that there wasn't any proper shields when you attained a shield, and so you grabbed something akin to a buckler.
Yeah, he has a plank. They have a plank of wood.
Yeah, no, the plank of wood is, the branch is my club.
Oh, okay.
My shield is something that's stupid oversized for me.
Okay.
But it was stupid oversized, but the metal part of it rotted off.
That's what it was.
Okay,
That's
that
why
makes
your
sense.
shield sucks.
That, and I made this using D&D Beyond, so my character sheet's not the most intuitive.
No shade, D&D Beyond, but some shade.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty good for
It
a
is
lot of
good,
things.
but
I like
it doesn't
for
answer
creation,
questions.
In terms of like throwing something together, and then you
Yes.
gotta like do that last 10%.
Yeah,
but
that's
it's a really
why I
good,
used it.
it's a good roll through. I really like how
yeah,
it's
that's why
organized.
there are some things that I'm like, wait,
either
why do
for
I
it
have that?
or against it, unless of course they choose to sponsor us.
Hey,
In
this
that case-
episode
In which
brought to
case
you
I'm
by...
beyond in.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of
That's it. No, I was kidding.
this is a big pencil.
All right.
Hey!
Is Zeph a
This episode
PH
brought to you
or
by
an
Bic.
F? I forgot.
I said ZEFF in my mind. As a matter of fact, yeah, it is ZEFF because I got it from my NPC list.
Okay, sweet. I think I have it spelled with one.
I need an
F for me.
NPC list. I need more friends.
Friends aren't NPCs, they're PCs. NPCs are
PCs
randos.
of shit.
So where shall you go? Right now, you're kind of still in the same area right in here.
Obviously, we must deal with duplicate me first.
Okay, so I can, if you guys want, we can do the trace. We can like do the shadow thing again, the shadow walking.
The shadow.
Probably a good idea.
Good reference.
Also,
Pass without a trace. We can pass without a trace again.
also
Over
Ashley.
Kelly.
Yes.
So a couple of things
Psionic Spear
about
Blade.
Kragst. So the dotted white line on the map, that's towards the center of the plateau.
Yeah.
That is basically the equivalent of all of the villages, the orc villages, how they have the hallucinatory terrain around.
Ooh.
It is quite similar to that. You know that kind of looking in there, you do see that the village looks like it's, a bunch of kind of ramshackle huts and tents and whatnot.
When we were in there before, we saw the blobtars and stuff.
You actually weren't
we hadn't gone
inside
far.
of that. Yeah, you didn't get that far. So what I'm trying to say is because you've been here before, you know that inside it doesn't actually look exactly like I described it.
Right, it looks different because
It's so much different.
it's like a thriving metropolis, like not metropolis, but
Metropoliloid.
it's
Yeah.
compared to all the other orc places you've been to, like, it is a fucking city. Like, it's got buildings and, like, with tiers and...
call it thriving if it's full of undead grossness.
We don't know if it's full of undead grossness.
It's re-thriving.
Like, but it's never fully populated regardless, so it's not actually... It just looks like a thriving city, and it's very well kept.
Yeah.
It's the Bronx.
I grew up there.
Okay, so...
For a little while.
I honestly think we just need to sneak our way in and like see what we can find. If we can send the familiar ahead of us, maybe to like.
Speaking of the familiar, Will, last session, June flew ahead at a certain point and spotted a massive, crazy pile of dead griffins at a certain point.
Oh yeah,
and one of them, and some of them were like kind of moving around, quite zombie-like, but one of them actually like. Took flight very quickly and began to chase June, and June got away. And at the same time, it was like a sort of a fucked up, mutated griffin that was basically chasing her and like
not one that
in
I
the
want
rage.
Yet, is what you're saying.
I don't even know if you want to add the word yet.
It was like a porky griffin.
Gotcha.
June kind of had it in their mind that like maybe this was really, really negatively affected by some kind of a cordyceps style thing. Imagine a griffin that was all fucked up and spiky and almost porcupine-like that had the temperament of one of the 28 Days Later zombies.
Oh, great.
Happy
rage zombies.
Good, I'm gonna fuck it up. So question from where you've been showing us where we're at. We're in the cave system that is like we're not at the top anymore.
No, we're on the top, and then we walked off to the sloping edge.
Cool. So, yeah, I mean, I can send June and be in her eyes, right, to kind of see what's going on. But obviously, we want to avoid that spot if this thing is like aware of her, right? I mean, so
June lost it.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty confident it didn't follow her or anything like that.
Yeah, gotcha. So, I mean, what are we looking for?
We were looking for Rom and the shadows.
Okay. I mean, I feel like there's only so many locations. But yeah, June. June can head out,
and then we can like kind of like follow behind and start passing that a trace towards there.
Yeah, honestly, if somebody carries me, I can be in her in her eyes watching, and then like kind of communicate.
The average airspeed of an unladen June bug.
About 60 feet around.
I mean, maybe. You can carry time, but she's taller than you, so I just figured that would be awkward.
a little awkward. Well, I was gonna say
we also have big NPCs who can carry.
Yeah, Zeph can carry.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zeph will like straight up like over the shoulder, or over his shoulder you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, like fireman style or like little kid style?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Sack of potatoes.
How many people can pass the trace effect?
I think it's people within 30 feet of me. They just have to stay within 30 feet of me.
Are you sure that there's not a maximum?
Pass me a book, and I shall find out.
I
haven't looked at it since last time.
Maybe a maximum. And I don't know why 8 sticks in my craw, but...
Well, there's...
Nope, all of them.
9 of us?
All of them.
Okay, cool.
Right.
Each creature within 30 feet.
And Leigh.
That's what I thought.
But to be fair, Leigh's pretty sneaky, right? Leigh's a shadow. What?
I wouldn't call her sneaky.
Hey Leigh, just out of curiosity, would you describe yourself as a ranger?
To activate my staff. With the power of the chieftain's past. And I am going to gather all y'all around me and basically like cast Pass Without a Trace. So we're all encapsulated into like kind of like a shifting cloud.
And that lasts an hour?
Our stealth goes up crazy. We get plus 10 to stealth checks.
Hey,
and we can't be tracked by magical means.
My stealth is now a +9.
And we leave no tracks or traces. So we're basically all gonna kind of like head towards the thing and stay within like 30 feet of each other.
What thing? I'm sorry.
The actual city part.
Okay.
And the whole time we're kind of like waiting to hear from Time, I guess, to see like if she got or her familiar got a pin on any of the shadows or Rom.
Okay. So to answer your question, Fisher, Leigh's pretty much got bandit stats.
Bandit stats. Ooh, so extra sneaky. Cool.
Yeah, I mean not too much though. I mean
moderately sneaky.
Moderately sneaky.
Bandit stats.
Slightly above average. Dexterity? Only 12? That's weak.
Here, let me.
I mean, that's 4 better than mine.
Let me give you a little stat insight. I don't feel like that's.
I have banded on half my page, Bill.
What?
Yeah, bandit. We have all the bandit stats over here.
Yeah. So, so that would be Leigh stats.
I now know so much about Leigh.
A little leeway with her.
God damn it.
About time for one of those jokes.
It was a good one.
It was a good one.
It was a good one.
God damn it.
Yes.
Okay.
The bad ones just get a groan. The good ones just elicit vocabulary response.
So,
hold on a second. I can only do that. Sorry, I think I was thinking the warlock thing. So I can only do the look through the eyes of the familiar and whatnot if it's within 100 feet of me. So I think we're going to be outside of that, right? Presuming this thing's going more than 100 feet of me.
Or we could do it when we get to closer, but yeah. That's fair.
No, never mind. It doesn't have to be with 100 feet. So 100 feet I can communicate telepathically, but as I can see through the eyes and ears until the start of gotcha. So each round I can keep saying like that I'm looking through it. There's no distance on that. Never mind. But basically I'm deaf and blind while that's happening. That's why y'all got to take care of me. Okay. But I can talk. I'm gonna do the best I can to kind of keep at a moderate tone, right? But like I can kind of talk through what I'm seeing, but I can't hear y'all. I can feel like touch, right? So like you can probably like communicate via like tapping or something along those lines.
If you get too loud, Zeph will pinch.
Yeah, like tap. Like we talk about safe word.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically I can do that. So I'm kind of like giving a constant like roll of what's happening, like what I'm seeing through units and what I'm hearing and like whatnot. So
cool.
Sweet deal.
So what does June see?
Excellent question.
And we're currently moving, right? We are. Yeah. The party is treading onward.
You are all moving and being as stealthy as possible, even with your magical help. And so you're moving along as June kind of flies up ahead. And things that June sees, she sees that kind of as she flies this way from a distance. There are these things that are kind of like lining the side of the plateau there. With her eyes, she's sort of.
Which she's got advantage on, by the way. All of the.
Well, it's not. Yeah,
anything sight based. I mean, just as.
It's not. It's not that she. It's not that she. It's like if she can identify exactly what they are.
Yeah, they see the thing. I'm just saying for future.
They seem to be kind of like rotating towers of a sort. And
windmills?
Maybe.
Oh, we're fighting the Dutch.
And then she sees what appears to be like up here, like some sort of a granary. She
full of old ladies.
Sees that she sees that there is a pit over here. Very much a concave pit within the ground, with a bunch of very fuzzy fungal growth. And
gross.
Over kind of in between these two copse of trees, she actually knows even the title of this, that it's basically the Kashars. Or not the Kashars, the Kragst, the city's death meadow. And so,
it's my favorite genre.
Death meadow.
But yeah,
it's King Diamond death metal.
The place in which orcs lay their own to rest. And basically like be absorbed into the mycelium forevermore.
Do you only move the mushrooms?
So yeah, I mean, she's basically got the orders to go like seek out, people, Rom, etc., and specifically like heading into like past the barrier if possible.
Okay, so
like doing kind of like a large scale roundabout to kind of see the things that you're talking about, right, and then spiral inwards to see it.
So I'd like June to make a perception check.
Cool.
Advantage.
Nice. 20.
Ooh.
Total.
Oh.
Sorry. Oh, it's so cool.
So inside of all this, there is the movement of all of the blobtars and A few other things that she can't readily identify from a great distance. She definitely sees the meandering of the weird sort of Riffin graveyard that kind of exists sort of like right over here.
In the Death Meadow?
No, the Death Meadow's over here, but it's definitely like close to that.
Death Meadow adjacent.
It's a raised portion of ground here that looks to be. I mean, June basically looks at it, and it's sort of like a self-maintenance livery just for griffins.
Mm.
And so a stables, if you will. But it was kind of hard to identify when she went there before, because she was basically just going there to like make sure that nothing was going to like attack anyone. Basically, she wasn't taking her time like spotting everything around. And so now that she has that time, she sees that livery is basically just a slaughterhouse.
Of dead or undead?
Does she want to get closer?
No.
Then we'll leave it at that.
Cool. Are we going clockwise or counterclockwise around?
I'm just kind of going in no particular order.
No, I mean the group.
Oh, well, we'll get to that in a second. Let me finish June's thing. So, and then, so inside of all that movement, June does, as she heads into the barrier and sees the crazy, sort of like fungal majesticness of
That's definitely my first album title.
Of Kragst.
That's what my doctor said.
Just the most amazing, growths, basically that buildings are made out of, that go really, really far up, and the hallucinatory terrain does this thing where it actually blocks out the sunlight. So in this area, it's just like constant twilight, and so
I'm imagining it's like rolling through like a tinted window.
Yes,
right?
Exactly. And when June does that, she immediately picks up on a sort of a line of movement that's heading inside that area, and the line was moving quick enough to kind of alert her bird senses.
The motion was easy, looking for prey.
Yeah, definitely not Blobtars, definitely not that slow and meandering, or like randomly chaotic of like, oh, I'm gonna go this way suddenly. It was a very ordered, quick movement, and so June thinks that Brahm and his shadows are inside here.
For sure. I mean, she's going to try and see how, like, where they go, perhaps, the best as possible. Like, if it's, like, a particular building or region, until, like, they're out of sight.
Yeah. And I feel like Zeph and Keth know their way around Kragst. Like, if they can kind of, like, describe what's happening.
Time is describing the buildings that
I guess
she sees to the best of her ability, right? Like, they're passing by such and such, and there's a thing, and like, she's doing everything she possibly can, but it's also really difficult because you're like wanting to ask her questions, right? But she's just diatribing in too much detail, too much and with like scientific augmentations on what she's saying about like particularly like such and such. Like it's a lot, but enough for probably you to tell.
Yeah,
but it might take a minute.
June thinks that they're kind of taking a roundabout way and eventually going to city center, which is the sort of holy site. It's a veritable like gazebo like temple
where they would perhaps perform ritual of
preservation.
I don't know why I can't remember that.
Redemption, consternation, consumption. God,
all right, we're just hardcore double moving towards the center of the city then.
All right.
With our pass without a trace active.
Yeah.
And so
I suggest we follow the river.
So inside of that, I would like all of you, and when I say all of you, I mean all of you, to make stealth checks.
Plus 10.
Oh boy.
And whatever else your actual stealth.
I'm just going to presume that Zeph is making it for me since I'm...
Yeah, we'll say that
make for NPC though.
Zeph is going to be at
NPC.
disadvantage just
Okay.
because he can carry you just
And
fine.
I'm talking.
Okay.
So,
And you're
not
talking.
loudly, but I'm talking. Right.
Oh. Everyone drink.
Did you fail that miserably?
Critical fail. Yeah.
Well, there is no critical fail on skill rolls,
Oh, okay.
so just still add it up.
Okay. Well,
Potential
that's actually
got
not
a
that.
31.
Jesus Christ.
Clear.
I have 13 for both.
Yeah. Berg is the
With your
rainbow
plus 10, you have 13 for both?
Natty 20, which comes to a 22.
No,
die.
32.
Jesus.
32 because of the thing.
Man, I suck.
Who's the stealthiest? Turns out it's Cleaver.
No,
No.
Bogenschul's stealth is plus 9. That's why I was shocked. I
Jesus
rolled an
Christ.
11. Keth got a lot, like a 20-something, and Bogenschul's got a 31.
Berg got a 12, and Zeph got a 12.
Hey, somebody got worse than
Even
me.
with the plus 10s? Damn.
Yeah.
Connor.
You got 2 13s,
I rolled a 1 and a 2.
22. Or 32.
and
Sorry,
you're
32.
adding your plus 10, yeah?
Yeah.
And you're adding your plus 10.
Yeah, I rolled a
Okay,
1
I'm
and a 2.
just checking.
Yeah.
just
I
checking.
rolled a 4
and
minus
and-
1 plus 10, and a 1 plus 2 plus 10.
32, 31, 28.
Sounds like half and half these. Not counting time.
Okay.
She sort of merged with some other person. But
Yeah.
It's like a half and half, maybe. I don't know.
Look, Joy has an excuse of being the worst at stealth.
Here, you got to roll for the last NPC, and that breaks the tie.
Yeah. Roll for Leigh.
Roll for Leigh, Bill.
Breaks the tie.
Break the tie.
Leigh has a plus 1 to stealth.
Plus 11 now. Suck it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
but-
plus 11.
Yeah. Hi.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Really need. I keep saying I need different die, but it's really just me.
No. It's because you're wonderful in every other way. The universe has to balance out.
yeah,
Oh.
exactly.
That's so true.
But I'm not rolling for anything.
Okay.
Yep.
So coming from overhead, you hear.
Off.
So coming from overhead, you hear the very thick wings just sort of soaring above you with the occasional like sickening caw. Kind of a gurgly, sickening caw.
Yeah, something worse than that.
And
Gross. Thanks, guys.
and
Your turn.
It passes over your head once. And and at that point you feel like you're in the clear. And then you hear it kind of coming back, and it circles around, and at that point I would say that something happens. It's kind of maybe a train wreck of a little bit of a moment where
Joy knocks into Ferg, knocks into
Joy,
Michaux.
Ferg, Michaux, Zeph. They all like one person. It took one person that maybe had like the best of intentions,
They all get into
and
an
then
argument.
but didn't communicate it to the others, and all of a sudden there was. I mean, like, how would you? Because you basically what's about to happen is this creature is going to come barreling down at you.
Mhm.
How would you describe how you fucked up?
Kelly shows up and sneezes. They're from Kelly. There you go. Goddamn Kelly.
Berg sneezes and Zeph turns around, not even thinking, is like, shut the fuck up.
Loudly.
And then Joy's like, no, guys, don't do it. And then Michaux's like, Joy.
Meanwhile, they get more than 30 feet away from Keth and the rest of the group, and they're
Yes.
just not in the shadow anymore.
That puts me at a 2.
We are all going to roll initiative.
Yay.
Do the people that got good
there's so many
stealth
names
checks
I have
get
to write.
a surprise round?
Good question.
Because the Griffins didn't see us, did they?
They didn't see you, but they saw 4 of you.
Mm-hmm.
Less than half.
Well, I mean, I saw time. So.
Mm-hmm. I will
Oh,
say
yeah.
that the people who
Exactly
did
Shit.
succeed on their stealth checks, you're going to have basically 1 round of prep.
Like we can do something outside of our first round?
Yes.
Like, okay, cool.
Yeah. Roll initiative.
Just so everybody knows, I'm using this shiny dice for Bogey.
Initiative is dexterity.
So I'm gonna roll them at the same time.
We're playing the NPCs on our initiative.
Yeah. Oh yeah, good point.
Correct.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Oh, okay. So then,
Yep. You
Got
will
a
not.
one.
You will not have
Oh.
to roll 2 initiatives.
Yeah,
You're just
okay.
gonna,
Again.
I rolled a 1. All right, so
all right.
So, Bogan, Schultz, and Kethra.
What is
I
that total?
rolled, y'all.
We're at
Okay.
4.
I try
A
really
3.
hard.
All right. So what is your total?
4.
So you guys both had 4.
I have better decks though, so
Yeah,
they're below
okay.
me. If I rolled a 1 and they rolled a 3 and we're both at 4, like, let's be honest, viewers.
Okay. You can put me at 17.
Okay. And what did Time get?
Time/Cleaver got 15.
Okay.
Zeph pinches you real hard and is like, wake up.
Cool. Because I was going to skip time unless somebody did that, honestly. I wasn't going to say anything. I was going to keep that, like...
Oh, no.
like there was, like, it's the safe word of, like, come back, right? Pop. Like, there's
Yeah.
going to be, like, a level of shut the fuck up, and there's going to be a level of, like, oh, shit, alert, right?
Gryffindor.
What's the plus?
Because we have our buddies.
It's for your NPC.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, so this is a new programming language, Time++?
Oh no. In when ASL is written out, plus plus just means you do it twice. So like eat is one, food is once, but eat is eat plus plus, so double. So you just play twice.
Interesting.
I didn't know that.
Okay.
Because
So
C++ is a programming language.
Yes,
the creature
the best programming language.
swoops down and cannot get to
HTML4.
basically cannot get to you the first round. However, within that first round, it does take its sort of tail that's littered with all of these like crazy fucking sharp spikes, and it's basically just going to shake its tail at you, and a number of those spikes
So BB.
lash.
You're making a lot of eye contact with
Out.
me. Is this happening to Keth?
Well,
Or is it because
no.
I'm looking at you?
It's either happening to Zeph or Ferg or Joy or
Michaux.
Michaux.
How-
Okay, no los
No, because time didn't.
quattro.
Well, time is
yeah.
on Zeph.
Yeah, time's on Zeph, so it's more like Zeph is maybe protecting time right now as she's coming
Yeah.
to.
Fair enough.
Well, wait, who are you controlling?
Zeph.
Zeph.
But Zeph was carrying Time, so Time was definitely seen.
Oh,
Mhm.
God.
Right, yeah. So you can conclude on that, but
Got
I don't think Zeph would hold time up as a body shield.
real-
No.
The real question though is
Take her.
Once Zeph pinches you twice to wake you up, like, definitely sets you down and
Okay,
next
And-
to.
so 1, Zeph is 2, 3 for time, 4, 5 for Michaux. Okay.
6, nobody gets killed.
So that would be Joy.
no.
So Joy.
But Leigh is okay, right?
gets,
Are you like into Leigh now? You changing your mind?
No, well, Leigh is the person that Joy has known the closest for the longest time here. So it's basically
Leigh
like
made their stealth check. The Griffin hasn't
Yeah.
seen them yet.
it's basically like like seeing your best friend after not seeing your, or like yeah, like seeing your best friend after not seeing him for a couple months. Just like, hey, what's up? Nice to have you back in my life. Oh, why are you stabbing me?
Are you hit with a 16?
Yes, because I don't have my shield out.
Okay,
How
so
do you not have your shield out?
Well, because we're stealthing.
Oh, okay.
Shields, don't they give you disadvantage to stealth rolls?
no.
No.
Oh.
If you'd like to say it was out,
Yes, my shield is out.
okay.
Yeah,
So does that
I
mean
I feel
that
like
you're
if we're
not
like
hit?
going into battle, your shield.
Yes,
yeah.
it means they go.
Okay, so, well, no, that's not what that means. It means that one of them stuck into your shield, but the other one hits you.
Oh,
And the third one also hits you.
You're
God.
getting 3 hits.
Yes, please.
Rude.
You got Eldritch
and-
blasted by a tail.
You...
Magic
oh my
missile.
God, why do I not...
Eldritch Blast hurt more though.
we go.
I feel
Yeah,
this
but
is
magic
gonna
missile
hurt
3
more.
times.
So is Eldritch Blast.
Oh, it is?
Fight me. Well, it was when
I
I
don't
played
know.
with my awesome bard that was level 16.
7
Yep.
points of damage
Jesus
and another 7 points of damage. 14 total.
I'm raging, so that's hat.
And it is time now.
That's good.
Okay, so these things are they flying? Like, do they hit the ground, or are they like looping? Like,
so it's just one creature.
Okay.
Although time can't see right now, correct?
We woke her up.
She got pinched, which broke it.
Got it. So you look up, okay, and this is what time sees. Time sees this
Everything.
very much this like porcupine-ridden griffin. In the most unsymmetrical of sort of fashions, so punk as fuck, and the sort of tail of this thing is just littered with these spikes, in which it just sort of like whipped out, and several of the spikes just frayed out as projectiles. The other thing that you see is that there are these creatures that, for lack of a better term, are dripping off of this thing.
Oh boy. How big are griffins? Are they large or just medium?
They are large. They're about horses, but with a huge wingspan.
Great. So this thing. Okay. So sorry, maybe I missed it because I blanked for a half second. Is this thing currently flying? Yes, it's like hovering and throwing some stuff.
Yeah.
Cool.
We're talking. Let's see. It's about 70 feet away from you currently.
Ooh.
Perfect. So Zeph hears. Actually, we're all still pretty close to each other. You hear Time mutter some like arcane sounding words, but there's like some distinct Dwarvish in there, and the piece that you hear is basically a binding sound, like referring to like basically. May the earth draw you to itself. As you see these, like, if anyone's looking at this griffin, like yellow strips of magical energy, like suddenly like doosh 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 grab it, and it needs to make a strength save.
Excellent.
Yes.
Okay.
So weird.
My strength save is a 20.
And you see it like wrestle those and shatter through them, unfortunately, as nothing happens.
And the shattering actually causes one of the creatures that's dripping from it to actually fall and plop to the ground.
And die.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
do you know?
Find.
I have no idea.
It took 70 feet
Now
of
go
fall
Cleaver.
damage.
What?
It took 70 feet of fall damage.
Sure it did.
Yeah, who knows? So is there anything currently to fight on the ground, right? Or like
with the creature that it dropped and it just splat onto the ground, you don't see anything moving from that. But that thing dropped about, I would say 45 feet away from you.
Okay, gotcha. So how you said the griffin was 70 feet?
Correct.
But straight up or just 70 feet?
Kind of on a diagonal.
Okay, gotcha. So below it is about 45.
Yeah.
Straight up. Gotcha. So can we say that Cleaver has like a few like throwing spears? There's a spear and then there's.
I would say that they're interchangeable. So he can either use it as a melee weapon or
yeah. But the question is if he has more than one.
I'll say that total he has 3.
Cool. So I'm gonna say that I don't know much about Cleaver, so he seems in on this. I'm gonna say actually the Cleaver, until I know better about how he acts, he is gonna stand sort of next to Bogenschultz, with like spear ready and like foot on the butt of the spear, kind of like ready for a charge kind of level. Like this has sort of been their back to back, way they've survived in the jungle, right? This is how Bogenschultz trained him to try and survive, and so that's what he's gonna do right now. So like effectively, I'm gonna say on dodge for now, in what looks like a defensive position.
Perfect. After time is Joy.
Wow. All right. Joy is just gonna bless some people. Joy is gonna bless
on someone's forehead.
Man, nobody really has much in the way of ranged attacks. That's true.
Excuse me.
Yeah, gonna bless Time, and I guess Bogey and Ferg, just because for the hell of it.
Ferg doesn't need a bless.
Ferg doesn't need a bless? Does Ferg want to bless? Does Ferg want to bless?
Ferg is always #blessed. Thank you.
True.
No take backsies.
You remember from the last time that we got into things that Ferg has this ability that is basically blessed and so doesn't need it.
Then I'll go Zeph.
Well,
I don't know which of the NPCs have ranged attacks. Zeph.
Zeph is strong enough to throw things, so.
Bogey's got a light crossbow.
Yeah, that's why I gave them one of the blessings.
Okay.
Oh.
Yes.
Zeph apparently has a heavy crossbow.
Perfect. Yep, you're getting a blessing.
He doesn't carry it around inside of the village, but you know.
Oh, but just out and about.
He's out on a mission.
When he's in the wild.
Yeah.
I'm like, this would be the time for Zeph to be carrying it.
Definitely.
Bless is a plus D4.
Yep.
Yeah.
Saves and attack.
To saves and attack.
Yeah.
What's the bathroom situation?
Outside.
Wait, who else did you bless?
Outside, if you could.
Zeph, Time, and Bogey.
Okay.
Okay, so what do you do?
Useless. So that was Joy's action. So I guess I'll just stand there and take it. I'm Michaux. See, entangle. How does entangle work?
I think it needs to be on the ground to entangle it.
Does it need to be on the ground?
I don't think you can pull it to the ground.
Yeah.
Has pretty much nothing. So.
Well, you can bark skin
That's true.
if you're trying to prep, or you can go on dodge in case you get attacked.
Yeah. Michaux will go on dodge just because he's not quite mentally ready for the attack. So we just like, what's going on?
Sounds good. And Keth.
Okay.
And friend.
I have a question.
I have an answer.
So you said we kind of had like a prep round, but not really a surprise round.
Yes.
What does that mean exactly?
Well, what would you have liked to have done?
So,
on your...
because there's a cool assassin ability of Bogenschultz that I want to use.
Okay.
But it only makes sense if we had a surprise round. It said basically during its first turn, the assassin has advantage on attack rolls against any creature that hasn't taken a turn. Any hit the assassin scores against a surprise creature is a critical hit.
Oh, that can absolutely be done now.
Okay, cool. Because Bogey didn't get seen, and like I feel like she would just like whip around and just be like, you know, like fire one off.
Yep.
So that's definitely what Bogey's gonna do, and Keth is going to.
What's the range of their light crossbow?
80 to 320, and you said he was 70 feet away, right?
Good, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I still have to make the attack roll, but I get to do it advantage, and then it's a crit for damage. I believe is what that wording is, right?
If you
hit, yeah.
With the +4.
With the +4?
For
the bless.
Yeah.
Good call. Bless believe. That's a 3 on the bless and a 17 on the die, so that's 20
plus.
Definitely hit it.
plus a lot.
Yeah.
Plus 7.
Ooh, boy.
And then so that's a D8 plus 3 piercing damage. That's 2D8. How does I don't crit a lot. How do you crit?
It's basically just double. Okay, it's gonna get interesting because you have a sneak attack.
Yes.
So what does it say? 46.
Yes.
So you're rolling 8d6.
Can I have some D6?
Plus you're rolling 2d8.
Okay, so I got 2d8.
And I do believe that I have to roll a poison.
Yeah, and then you have to make a Constitution saving throw against a DC of 15, or you take 2d6 poison damage, which would be 4d6, because it's a crit.
And
holy fuck.
I did make that.
This is why I wanted a
Constitution
surprise
save,
round.
so that's going to be halved. But hold on a second. So it would be 2d6 poison, but because it's crit, it's 4d6.
Can I have 4 more d6s? I just want to roll them all at once. This never happens to me, guys.
So
Thank you.
Welcome to these Barrio numbers,
Yes.
right?
So you have to roll your poison damage separately.
Bill,
So we can have it.
the little dot dice or the poison.
The dot dice.
Yeah, all the other ones have
Got it.
numbers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Got it. What the hell is dot dice?
Pips, they're called pips.
All right.
Oh,
so
Jesus.
the poison damage is going to be 8 and 6 and 2.
So what's the total?
That's 16.
16.
Because 10.
So 8 total
8 total. Okay.
for the poison.
Mhm.
And then you're going to take 10,
I tried.
20. 30.
All right, I'm
That's
going to use
bless.
the bathroom real quick as well.
Coming outside.
37 plus 3. 40 piercing damage.
40, so 48 total.
Damn.
48 total.
Good job.
That was really cool, guys.
Yeah.
That was really.
Shanna, I just got to roll all the dice. I hope you see that later.
It's so much fun to roll all the dice.
So
you got textures.
The creature essentially, I don't know, from that distance, you can't really see where you struck it. But what you do see is that in air, it starts to waver alarmingly, and begins to sort of like kind of fall in midair and then like catch itself with its wings. It becomes erratic very quickly for about 3 seconds. But it seems like it's still alive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keth would like to grab out a dart off his belt and dip it in his poison. I don't know if that counts as the prep thing you were talking about or as an action, because I'll do it as an action if you'd like me to.
Well, you could have done it as the prep as an action, so yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So then can I still throw it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I want to basically throw my poison dart.
Okay.
Because
so that
is going to be a disadvantage.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Because it's the range. At a disadvantage, that's 6. And then my monk weapon. Hang on. It's been a minute since we played.
Sure.
Like in a battle.
Is Keth also blessed?
No, Keth is not blessed. That is a 13.
Okay. Yeah, 13. It kind of just comes up short and then dips. It kind
of like misses the arc and like falls on the ground.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Keth seeing that happen basically isn't gonna do anything crazy with his bonus action. Okay. He's gonna go like back to back, basically like with bow or like basically like get in like a defensive position.
Okay.
And wait and see what happens.
Okay. Ferg.
All right. How far away is the blobby thing on the ground?
45 feet.
Can I tell what it is from that distance?
It looks like a splat.
Cool. We're not gonna waste a rage on it.
Like it doesn't have any shape whatsoever.
It literally looks like a splat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we're not gonna waste a rage on it.
Yeah.
We are going to throw a javelin at Mr. Flying Pointy Pants.
Disadvantage height. Yeah.
Disadvantage? Yeah.
Yeah, because javelin is
like probably a 2040 or something like that, or 2060 maybe.
I think it's 30 feet is the first range
I think
category.
javelin is...
I mean, a spear is 2060, so javelin I think is maybe a little better than a spear.
I think a tiny bit better, smidge better.
I'll look it up by curiosity, but you're still a disadvantage. It's not.
I think it's 30. 30.
I'll find out.
100, 30, 70? I don't know.
Anyway, you're definitely going to be a disadvantage. I have to.
Are you hit with a... you are not hit with a 13, right?
I am not.
3120, by the way.
31.
You write that down.
Yeah.
Got it.
Oh, I thought you said 31.
No, 3120.
Yeah.
A 120.
Yeah, it's surprising.
Damn. Yeah.
I mean, it's not easy to hit something at that range, but it can. I mean, they're very aerodynamic.
Yeah,
that's what that represents.
Yeah. If you have somebody with the portent, they make you crit in the dark.
Don't currently. It's not for critting.
What are your,
That's the only place I ever crit.
Numbers currently?
What do you want to know?
Because I'm the DM.
Well, there's only one left, but I'm going to say on camera because I mean, it's a high number.
Well, just show me. Is it right there?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Wait, what did you use the other one for?
I don't know. It was used before I got here.
It was after the long rest.
Let's not talk about that. Yeah, I have no idea either. Okay, so that misses.
Berg missed.
Flies off the side.
And starts swearing up a storm. Because fuck, I'm better than that usually.
And Keth says, I missed too.
And Joy says, ow!
Hush. And Zeph, so Ferg is just gonna stay like within the circle because there's a flying thing, so you don't want to get too close to anybody, but you also don't want to get too far away. And Zeph is blessed. Zeph pulls out the heavy crossbow, which is not a disadvantage because it's 140.
Yeah.
It's gonna look real lame when he does like 8 damage with his heavy crossbow, and I just did 40 with my light crossbow. Just saying.
You've got a thing that Zeph doesn't have.
assassinate ability. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Are you hit with?
I am hit with that.
Holy shit!
19 on the die plus bless and all that jazz. Yeah,
23.
Definitely.
I feel like I blessed good people.
I'm sorry. That was a 25.
Yes. Still a hit. Yes.
Yeah.
I like to add it all up.
Ouch.
1d10. Really? That's it. Fuck.
Oh.
Okay, you wing it.
No, that's it's a 8.
It's a 2, but is it plus something?
That is an 8, you said?
No.
Okay, then stop lying.
Liar.
I can't.
No, there's no plus to it.
It's pathology.
But there's this thing that Zeph has where Zeph can fire twice.
Not with a heavy crossbow.
Oh, damn, it's 2 melee attacks.
Yes. The heavy crossbow does not. It basically takes you like a full round to even load it.
Yeah.
And then
Literally, it's called loading.
Yes.
Unless you've got.
Is that the bonus action?
Yeah.
So you get your shot off,
and you just see one feather like spiral down. Zeph also starts swearing up a storm.
All right. So back to the creature. So the creature is going to.
The griffin, though.
The creature is going to fly
Spiky boy.
directly over you and kind of slough off what it's carrying.
Yeah.
And
Just like
so I want everybody to roll a d6 and tell me if you roll a 1.
for NPCs as well, independently, or
Yes.
Okay.
I'm green.
Nope.
Joy did not. Michaux
I
did.
rolled a 6. Bogey rolled a 1.
Yeah, Michaux rolled a 1.
Show and Bogey.
Ferg rolled a 3 and Zeph rolled a 2.
5 and a 3 for my guys.
Okay, so about 6 of these creatures
My hair looks nice today.
fall off, and a few of them basically splat, just like the other ones. The other 2, however, one straight up hits Bogenschultz and splats over Bogenschultz. Is still somewhat
Okay, so this is a question from time level, and not I want to get this before you get too deep. Can time, does time with her perception recognize? I mean, we've seen these things falling off. We kind of know that it'd be bad if this stuff hit us, kind of idea. Does she make that level of awareness of these things falling down on us?
I mean, in this time frame, probably not.
Okay, well, if she doesn't make that assumption, then keep going. So
let me just say that it. So first of all, the one that fell far, 45 feet away from you, that kind of happened. But then when it was flying over you, when 6 are falling, that happens pretty quickly.
So realizing that this is an attack, these are creatures falling on us, maybe. That's the question. I was does time recognize that these things are creatures and it's an attack? These things are falling on us.
Picture it like I'm flying over someone and I just drop my sword.
Gotcha.
It's like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm saying, So, if she doesn't recognize it as a creature or anything like that, then what I was thinking of doing is not going to happen, so.
Well, I mean, does what you're doing... Yeah, it's...
A reaction. So, basically, if she noticed these things as, creatures or something falling at us, she was going to be, feather fall and slow it down and give people a reaction to get out of the way, perhaps. But if she's not recognizing that, I don't want to, meta game of this shit would be bad to hit us, or that she could even try that.
Listen, if your ability is a reaction and you want to do that, go for it.
Yeah, she's going to try.
Yeah.
Get out of the way, and, and kind of, does... try to cast Featherfall on all of those.
Okay. Now, here's an interesting thing about Featherfall. It's technically not... It's a spell that you cast on allies.
That's what I was just thinking, too. What happens if you cast Featherfall on people that don't want it?
Yeah, and so I think the answer is that they're going to get a saving throw.
It's Accelerofall.
Yeah.
Presume so. I mean, it's a thing that's just, naturally occurs, right?
These things aren't on fire, right?
Yet.
Could they catch on fire? Would this be like napalm?
I just want to see if there's anything weird about that.
Sticky, splashy, spready, and on fire?
It just says 5 falling creatures.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, and 5 fallen creatures. A fallen creature's rate of descent, it just slows down because I'm not doing damage to it. So
right, but I'm gonna say in this case they are gonna get a saving throw. I think that the spell very much assumes that normally you'd be casting on allies, thereby so.
I mean, I don't disagree. I'm not going to argue for the sake of like rolling through an entertainment.
You can argue, but I'm still going with my.
Yeah, by all means, I'm just saying like they would be specific about that because they are really specific in a lot of spells about like allies, friendly creatures, etc. This just being like choose up to 5 falling creatures. Like I'm doing a benefit for it and slowing it down.
Right.
It's not hurting it.
Right.
So
that's all. Gonna make a save throw.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because if goblins like jumped at you, like that would be.
Yeah, I'm slowing the goblins, so they're like coming at me, right? Like I don't know. I like it as a level of. I'm not really doing damage. I'm just slowing them down.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll yield to the chief.
What is your spell save DC?
14.
Oh.
I thought you had a
That's
really
pretty good for fourth level. Thank you.
That's really high.
But I thought you had like an 18 intelligence. That seems low.
Yeah, your spell save is 8 plus your proficiency bonus. Which is only 2
proficiency
right now.
Is the
and then plus 4 for
that makes sense.
So I'm gonna say that it's
Kragst is,
a
like, almost
dex
max
save.
DC.
And there's 2 dropping. The one that's dropping on Michaux, I failed. And the other one that's dropping on...
Wait, no, not
who was it?
Bogey.
Fail.
I'm gonna say they sort of like flatten out a little bit, almost like a little parachute, like free falling in a weird way.
Mm-hmm. And then so at that point, they're basically going slow enough that I'm gonna say that Bogey and Michaux just basically step aside.
5 feet, like no.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
and they fall to the ground. However, they're whole and
not splatted.
Not splatted, and essentially look like.
I'm sorry, not sorry. This is probably the better outcome. Let's be honest.
The
here.
better outcome, but we'll just have to.
Orc Claw of Luthic. So they're gross like orc creatures.
So you're reading words, and I'm asking you not to read words. Just look at the art.
Right. So, but are they like? But they're like gross orc things. Essentially.
Ew. Goldberg want to smash.
So if anyone at home has the Volo's Guide to Monsters, just look on page 184 for the art.
Yeah, they're this weird pustily green thing.
Yeah, so essentially a orc that is just ridden with like Fisher was saying, pustules and growths and basically just riddled with almost like fungal-like tumors drop in front of you. And
it's the rotten lemon version of an orc.
A little bit. Yeah.
They put my finger in a rotten lemon.
Oh. Yeah, they land and a little bit of that citrus mold just goes
oh, yuck. Oh.
Yeah.
Ew.
I know. Every day I deal with it.
I know. 7 years of it.
So, and then the flying creature, the spiked flying creature, basically continues to fly overhead. So, let's see. So, I'm going to basically say that it's the same. It's just on the other side of you, but it's the same distance away.
It's still 70 feet or whatever?
Yes.
Up at an angle, right? So 45 feet out.
And yes, and it pretty much looks like it's flying away from you. It basically just flew right over top and keeps flying.
Did its bombing run?
Well, it attacked us initially.
Something tells me this is worse.
It did attack you initially from a distance that
it's leaving?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we should let it get away.
No.
Straight up.
Not the plan. So
yeah.
It's fine.
So I will say, let's see.
How much
No, it's going to be
do?
So how far is it? 70 feet away. Yeah, no, it's that's fair. It's the same distance away from you, but on the other side.
Okay.
God,
because it basically
fast.
just double moved. Well, double moved.
Hmm.
And
70 feet.
that.
Can you bring it down?
Oh, and I'm going to say those whole creatures that landed actually do
Yeah.
attack you two.
Because I can do that thing with it. Yeah.
So
Me and Bogey?
yes,
No, you and Bogey and Michaux.
Bogey and Michaux.
Okay.
2,
Yeah.
7. Depends on the roll, but I think depending on what its stats are.
Yeah.
Joy, Which is he had more fighty spells.
So Bogey, are you hit by? No, you're not. I rolled a 2. And Michaux, not a hit.
Cool.
Yep. They just sort of disorientingly sort of swing at you with these sharp growths that are. It's not even fingernails. It's kind of like almost coming out of its fingertips.
Oh.
Lady Deathstrike style.
Yeah, a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, shorter.
Not as elegant, of course.
Definitely.
She's one of my favorites.
Time.
Which is awesome. Trace
all right, so Time hearing the desire that people do not want this thing to get away.
Oh, by the way, Time. In the distance, the first one that splat, it is now starting to reform.
Okay.
Where it landed.
Good to know. So she calls that, like, calls attention to that, like, you know, they're not done yet.
Right.
Attack the ones that are splatted.
Time to burn with fire.
Yeah. So Time actually sees this thing, like, getting away, and did she get a sense, I mean, from that, like, massive hit, right, from, was that Bogenschultz that did that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That this thing, I mean, like, took a chunk and maybe it's trying to flee?
Kith could not do that.
That is a really positive assumption.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Time is like, no, I don't want this thing getting away, and pulls out a little bit of like sand and some other pieces like from her pouch and kind of crushes it and blows it towards it, and so sleeps. You got nothing.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, I don't get a save.
Yeah, no, you don't.
So is this? Does it?
I'm gonna cast it at second level, so I'm bumping it up.
Right. My question is that it the hit points that it affects is the hit points that it has left.
Yeah.
That
are remaining.
Got it.
That's the point. Because I was like, that's why I'm like, oh, it took a chunk of damage.
Yeah.
It seems like a good thing to potentially do.
For sure. Okay.
You sleep,
Like 50 something.
then you push its head.
Ooh, that's some 8s. Also a 1, but still. 32?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah. And it just falls out of the air.
You guys ever seen one of those like World War I movies?
Smacks into the ground.
Or Dunkirk?
Dunkirk was good. Yeah, that was really good. Also sad.
And so
World War II wasn't that happy.
So it's 70 feet away from you. We've already discussed that it wasn't like 70 feet that way. It was more like on a diagonal.
Yeah.
So
45.
it essentially falls 45 feet away from you, hits the ground, and immediately attempts to scamper to its feet. It would be considered still prone at this moment, but it is sort of like writhing, trying to get to its feet. So it is still alive.
Get it. It's within range because it was 70 feet at a diagonal, so now it's
Ferg?
not that far.
What is Cleaver doing? I'm getting coffee, but I'm listening.
Cool. Cleaver is toe-to-toe with Bogey, like you mentioned, right? So he goes for a two-handed spear attack on the one that, like, dropped next to Bogey and, like, popped up.
Yeah, it took a swing at her, too. Or them. I don't know what Bogey's gender is.
So you guys see, like, Cleaver actually, like, duck around.
She, right?
Neuter.
Yeah, you're ducking around.
Cool. So Cleaver actually like ducks around Bogey in what looks like a very practiced maneuver and pops out the side and lunges, giving him an advantage on it. Basically, pack tactics. Like it looks like they worked together before, right? And so 12 plus something. 16 to hit.
That's definitely a hit.
Cool. So comes at it with 8 points of damage. Piercing damage.
8 points of piercing damage. All right.
And then kind of maintains that, like, distance behind, like, Bogey and is kind of, like, bopping around and, like, causing a distraction. Duck, dive, dip, dodge. Duck, dodge. You said dodge twice. It's not important.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a bug.
Dodge?
Yeah. Yes.
You can dodge a very slowly falling orc monster.
Dodge and dodge.
Different from the D's in Sandman.
Very
Dicks.
different.
Yeah.
Destiny, death, destruction,
delirium.
delirium.
All of them.
Yeah,
Double penetration.
Dream. Okay. Cleaver
She used to be right.
spears this
Didn't we
thing
all?
into the side.
No.
It definitely shrinks away from that, and at the same time looks still very up and about. Joy.
All right. Joy is going to, I guess, cast Spiritual Weapon, which is not ideal, and use it to whack on the one who is just whacking on Michaux.
Okay, got it.
Which is...
Yeah, whack it.
Yeah, whack it real
So
good.
that would be a bonus action. You cast that.
Yes. And then it's gonna whack it. Don't remember how to do Spiritual Weapon.
Well, you would use an attack roll, and you use your spell
Just
attack bonus for your add-on.
Yep. Oh, 7? 7 hit?
7 does not hit.
Ooh.
I
What
figured.
did you roll to get a
2.
7?
2.
What would you like to do for your regular action?
Nobody else is really hurt yet, right?
Not yet.
No.
Yeah. So he's just gonna whack it with his stick of wood.
Okay, sounds good.
And miss horribly.
God
That's
damn
a
it.
6.
Good lord.
I
Yes.
feel like I gave you stank dice. I'm sorry.
No. My D20 rolls are usually really good.
So I'm just gonna say that Joy realizes something as you go to attack these things. You realize that these things look like a better, more constituted form of the blobtars.
Mm-hmm.
Right, the blobtars were these sort of melty, candle waxy looking, like abominations. Where these, while they look disgusting,
Friendlier.
they're moving quicker, but they look no less disease ridden, or whatever they are.
Like I shouldn't punch it.
And so,
Probably
I'm speaking specifically to Joy. So basically, I'm saying like that was probably your hesitation.
Mm-hmm.
Is that you're a little afraid. You've
just
seen
like,
what this sort of like infection can kind of do. Kath caught it several times. So, and from that, is Michaux going?
Oh yes. Michaux is casting on his club. That can't be right.
It's Shillelagh.
Shillelagh.
That can't be right.
It is in fact right.
No, I believe you. That's not a real word.
Shillelagh!
That's
That's
like
a real word.
Which is
made from
a bonus
Blackthorn.
action. And then is going to also kind of just smash at it.
Okay, is Shillelagh a bonus action?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
That's right. Okay.
It makes
So that is. What do you get to hit? What do you get to hit?
Yeah.
Plus, so that's an 18 to hit.
That's definitely a hit.
Cool. All right, and that does 1d8 damage now instead. Plus strength.
Mhm.
6
6 points.
to the one right in front of him. Obviously,
I want to see it.
he does not want this to be next to him.
So, for those who have hit these creatures, you realize that they are incredibly slow. Not quite as slow as the blobtars, but like very slow.
They're not quick. Okay,
They're
he's
still
also
vulnerable.
Michaux is also going to try and retreat a couple feet.
Cool. Also weird.
Okay. It turns around and tries to claw at you with an attack of opportunity.
Yep.
And are you hit by a 17?
Oh, just barely. Yeah.
All right. So,
Good.
I'm used to it.
6 points of slashing damage,
Oof.
And
3 points of necrotic damage,
Okay.
and make a Constitution saving throw.
you make it.
It's Michaux. Are you sure you want to do it?
Oh,
Yeah. On Michaux? Yeah. 100%
All right.
we'll
Okay.
make it.
Great.
I rolled a 17, so yes, I
No,
have
it
to do
happened
that
before
I
you roll.
roll.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what happened. So.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So
And Michaux
that's
has this thought of,
30.
that's why Time told me to eat those herbs before we left.
Mhm.
You're-
Strengthen my immune system.
He's like, no, that moldy bread is fine.
Penicillin.
Okay. So, Kath,
Okay.
company.
Keth basically
and co.
Oh.
is going to
Ew, bogeys.
yeah, I have a lot of movement. Keth's gonna go for the griffin.
Do
It's
it.
going to go for the griffin.
Keth's gonna go for the
what
griffin.
You get
My movement's
there
70 feet.
Jesus
easily.
Christ.
It's less.
So-
it's less. Yeah. It's
You kind of just see me like right over there. I have my staff out,
Okay.
We don't see you. We see
and
you here, then we
basically
see you
like
there.
when I get over there, I just kind of want to do like a Like, I can see it's, like, trying to get up, and I want to almost try to, like, do, like, a 1-2 with my staff, where I, like, kind of sweep its feet out from underneath it and make it fall again. Like, I don't want it to get up. You know what I mean?
Well, it's already kind of...
It's prone. You got advantage on it.
It's prone. You have advantage.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, then I'm just going to two-handed smack it over the head.
Yeah, just beat the
Sounds
shit out
good.
of that thing's
Yeah.
wings.
Stay down, Mo.
I don't remember what other D...
Oh, wait, no, it's the other
20. I rolled this one.
Hey, who all's blessed?
Bogey.
Time is, and the 2 NPCs.
Great.
Sorry. 12 plus
It's just didn't see it was relevant.
17.
You're definitely going to hit.
Okay. And so that's a D8 plus 3. 6 damage with my staff.
How do you want to do this?
Yeah.
I literally, like, want to, like, smash its head into a... Like, I'm, like... I feel like Keth has just gotten, like, angrier and angrier as this is, like, surpassed. He's seen, like... The, like, apex of his civilization, like, is in shambles, and he's already seen so many bad things happen in the last, like, few years since, honestly, since he's met you guys. He doesn't akin it to you guys, but, like, you know, since we've been a group, so many bad things have happened to his people. The moon jar almost gone. Now Kragst has fallen is, like, kind of where he's thinking, and he's just pissed. So he just kind of, like, comes down. He, like, running up, comes down so hard that the head just, like, obliterates. Like, obliterates.
And it splatters all over you.
I'm okay with that. That's how mad I am.
Cool. But I also then, as that sort of gore and blood hits you, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah. That's to myself.
I mean, yeah. Jinx.
That's not
Fuck.
That's really good.
Do you have
that's a 30, that's a
inspiration?
35.
I used my inspiration to pass that to Trace because I needed to activate
yeah.
that.
Are we doing that thing where we get an inspiration at the beginning of every time?
Yes.
That's where I use it for.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
Hang on. I got distracted. I think I have a plus something a lot to this. I have 6 total.
You on your roll 6? Okay, got it. So you take...
Oh, why did he pick the dice up again?
You take 11 poison damage.
Okay.
And gain 1 level of exhaustion as your body begins to form those boils that you're so familiar with.
Gross. And so what does exhaustion do again?
The first level of exhaustion is you basically roll disadvantage on all ability checks.
Okay, I'm cool with that.
Yeah. You moved 45 feet and then struck it once. Do you have any more movement left?
Oh yeah, I have a lot of movement.
You can continue your movement.
I wasn't done with my turn. I slipped to Bogey's turn too.
Yeah, totally.
All right, and then so basically what I want to do after that is
Murder something else?
yeah, I'm gonna kind of I can only punch other things is my qualm here. So I'm not gonna go punch other things. That seems really stupid.
Joy tends to make you feel better when you have the boils.
Yeah.
Can you not? No. You can totally like use another staff attack on something.
No, not yet. I don't have 2 attacks to my 5th level.
Staff should normally be able to do that if you're doing like pop.
No,
pop.
I did. I said I did a 2-handed overhead.
Yeah.
I changed my mind.
Okay, gotcha.
Anyway, I'm going to run back kind of to the group where everybody's at and kind of like I want to position myself between like anyone who I looks to me like they might be going to like hurt soon. Like if like one's about to go for time, if one's about to go for Bogey or Michaux, I'm going to go over there and I want to use a key point to go on dodge essentially.
Okay.
And then I have like my staff out. I'm like ready. And then yeah, actually, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I want to get up in the one that Bogey is near. I want to get up in its face and kind of distract it and go on dodge, like as if I'm about to engage it. And then Bogey is going to slip around and sneak attack from the back, do a multi-attack.
Yeah.
No, you got it.
And so that's 2 short sword attacks.
Yes.
Stab. Against which one?
Against the one that was attacking them initially. One is a crit.
Ooh.
The other is a... Wait, do I roll at advantage when you're doing that?
No, you do not.
No. Okay, so one's a crit and one is an 8 plus 6 is a 14.
So you're gonna definitely hit with both of them.
Okay.
You can only sneak attack with one of them. So,
sneak attack with the crit.
Right. I assumed that.
Yeah.
Future roll them separately.
And then,
just in case.
Oh, sorry, I'm not used to playing rogues like at a high level, so my rogues always die.
Your rogue
like
is
John
also
Bards.
blessed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hashtag.
Well, it doesn't matter now.
Didn't the monster go first this round though?
No, it doesn't matter.
I'm not doing the assassinate thing this time.
Oh, okay.
This is just straight, like, anytime you hit and you've got somebody within 5 feet, the rogue's doing sneak attack damage.
Cool.
The sneak attack's 46, so I'm gonna
These
roll.
will be immune to poison damage.
8d6. So they're immune to poison damage? Okay.
Correct.
That helps me with my rolling.
Yep.
Mm.
And 2 extra d6 for the weapon. This is all weapon damage. I don't know if sneak attack matters separately.
No, it's all the same
it does
damage.
not.
All right. So for the first crit, it's going to be, that's 12, 22, 30, 36 plus 3.
So it so Bogey stabs it once. I'm going to say that was like the not sneak attack, but then the other dagger attack comes out of nowhere and slits its throat. But unfortunately, a lot of pressure actually gets released when that throat is slit. And actually, some of the growths
100% his cat.
It's going to hit Keth, isn't it?
It's going to actually hit both Keth and Bogey.
Okay.
So both of you need to make Constitution saving throws.
Okay. Did it die, though? Because I didn't roll all my damage.
Oh, it definitely
Okay.
died.
Oh my god, you're still going?
Well, I didn't do my other attack. That was just the
That was
crit.
just the crit.
Yeah, you good. You good.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm
So
well
green
aware
is
of
Keth.
rogue crit.
Green is Keth. Blue is Bogey.
You see my love for it.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, wow.
Keth
Ooh.
got a
Much better.
Keth got a 17, and Bogey got an 8 plus what's Bogey's con?
Also, Bogey has the
That's
Plus
a 10.
2.
Bogey
so-
has the bless though.
Oh, Bogey got a. Hang on 1 second.
Oh, yeah. 13.
Bogey got a 13, and Keth got a 17.
That's pretty good.
That's not bad.
Okay, so both of you take 9 points of damage of poison damage, and but neither of you gain a level of exhaustion.
Okay, and then quick question. Resistance means I take half damage, right?
Correct.
So Bogey only takes 4 or 5.
Bogey's got resistance to poison.
Always run down before.
Damage, resistance, poison. I mean, if she's gonna be poisoning people all the time, she probably has a resistance to the shit.
She's built up immunity to
time you,
iocane powder.
Every time you poison a blade, you lick the blade. Poison the blade, lick the blade. I built
Hot.
up resistance.
But also gross.
Okay.
You're going to stab
Yeah,
somebody
so
with
fair
that.
enough.
Holy shit, though. Bogey has so many hit points. I'm sorry. 78.
Jesus Christ.
I have always designed and imagined Bogey
As a beef.
as a complete badass.
Bogey's a
Bogey-
beefcake, y'all.
Yeah.
Keth is hurting over here, by the way. Pretty bad.
I'm going to help.
Standard. Let's be honest.
Let's
I'm going
be
to help
real.
in about 20 minutes.
Okay.
After Keth is Ferg.
I just want to play Bogey now. Is that okay?
Right. Suddenly rogue. I mean, if Keth dies, it's a good transition.
Yeah.
I mean, Keth might die.
You never know.
We're done with the Kashar. Leave you behind.
Charm of Heroism. I forgot how we said. Was that an action? So
Yes.
that's what I thought. Okay, so
Watching too much regular show lately.
Been watching too much Psych lately. I just think it's too much
there's
Psych. The
one on
show's so good.
Bogey. There was one on Bogey. Now there's one on Michaux, right?
The show, and there's the one far away that is regenerating itself.
Yeah, and the other splats are also gonna start regenerating.
There was 7 splats total.
Yeah, and one is dead now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So we are going to bonus action rage. And then Berg would like to. How far away is the one that's on Michaux?
From you?
Yeah.
Not far away.
Not
at
far.
Cool. So we're gonna step up and swing away with the stone pencil and hope to turn it into poisonous mush.
Careful with that.
Yeah.
Turn it into the mush pencil.
Yeah, and anyone who's seen, and I'm going to just say this is pretty much everybody who's seen these creatures die, they die explosively and with a lot of sort of like caustic.
So we're trying to damage it quite a bit so that we can all then back away and hit it from afar so that it explodes away from us.
Okay.
I didn't say it was going to work. I said this is what we were trying.
That's what Ferg's going for.
Ferg does not have the most self-control.
But Ferg's really smart about it. I am assuming you were not hit with a 10?
I am hit with a 10.
Good Lord. They are that slow. Sweet.
Hella.
Hella.
I don't know how to roll barbarian damage anymore.
You can do this.
How does barbarian?
How does barbarian? 11 points of damage.
11. It is still up.
And then we would like to back off 20 feet.
Okay. And I do or do not get an attack of opportunity?
You're at disadvantage.
Fuck you. I hit a 20. 2 16s. So, Jesus Christ.
Fuck you.
Yeah, right? So, a total
This is typical
of 9 points of damage.
9?
Yeah.
Slash.
Slashing and oh, you know what? That's a good question. So 6 points of slashing damage.
Okay, so I will take 3.
Yes. And then 3 points of necrotic damage.
And I will take all of that.
I absolutely forgot that. Yeah, anyway.
You rage away damage. That's why.
Rage away damage.
Well, if your muscles are that flexed,
Yeah.
you take less physical damage.
Yeah, you grab the blade with your
But your emotions are still exposed.
Yeah, 100% necrotic.
Berg doesn't have emotions, shush.
Your necrosis is still exposed.
And then Zeph.
So, real quick before Zeph goes, you just notice, just with your passive perception. Keth notices. Thank you.
See the question mark.
Well, my passive perception is like 11.
I actually, especially because we're recording, I actually appreciate that rigor of like, not you, but Keth. Right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So Keth notices that the same, when these creatures hit, like Ferg, for example, it doesn't cause his skin to like burst out in boils or leave like weird rashes.
Oh my god, it only is affecting orcs.
No, it's when they explode.
Oh, it's only when they explode. Okay.
It must be their innards or something like that.
So it's not like the melty guys. Touching you doesn't make you blow up.
Correct.
Guys, I can punch him. I think I can punch him.
Well, I mean, these are also more whole than the other ones. That we
Yeah,
had,
they're not as like gooped.
I just
This was
picture your next attack like Dragon Ball Z, like.
And this was the happiest moment of Keth's life.
Zeph is gonna go at the same one with the spear.
What the fuck am I gonna do? I'm out of attacks.
Well, your spiritual weapon can attack every turn without it being a bonus action.
That's true.
Plus 5 to hit, reach
But
5.
my spiritual
One
weapon.
target.
Oh no, it is still right there. I didn't use it against the bird.
And we're going to
I have 2 attack spells.
It's gonna be a 2-handed like
I'm a healer.
poke. Like
I'm a lover, not a
step
fighter.
in and shove, even though
Just ask
we're
Leigh. I mean,
well aware of the danger. Oh, and
And this is the one that Ferg just attacked?
yes,
Yeah, got it.
Just do that, dude.
that's a lot.
Definitely a hit.
22.
no, I'm gonna heal you.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, 22 without your added
I'm just gonna go up and like,
Oh,
hey brother.
Yeah, you definitely hit.
27.
Yeah.
Okay. I rolled well for NPCs. It's
Good job.
really just me.
I'm proud of you.
1d8.
Hashtag blessed.
8 points of damage.
Okay.
Warlock. Hashtag blessed.
I'm not a warlock.
No, I'm sorry.
And then
Am I
we're
hard?
coming in again. So stabbing once, and then we're gonna, while the blade's in there, like slash down
Ooh.
and try and rip its guts out.
Why do you gotta be mean to me?
Because you're weird, gloppy, orky thing, and
We want to eviscerate you. Just
Yeah.
let
I
it
just wanted
happen.
an answer. You know,
you're a gloppy, orky thing.
Bill, aren't you used to us all teaming up on you every week?
It's probably still gonna hit.
That is an 11. No, that's a 13.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Yeah. I mean, I rolled a 10 and hit, so.
You know, I root for y'all. Why can't you root for me?
I do root
Because
for
you
you.
try and kill us, but we root for your storytelling.
All right.
I just root for me harder.
Root.
A good day to
and
root
that's
harder.
another 6 points of damage.
6 points.
And then...
Oh, hold on. It just splatters.
Really?
Have a Constitution saving throw for Mr. Zeph.
And Ferg too, right?
Yes. No, Ferg backed off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Forgot an attack of opportunity for their trouble.
That's a whole 11.
That is interesting.
Oh, you're gonna be blobby.
So first off, he gains a level of exhaustion.
Look, I only have one lesser restoration.
Is he
left.
at level 2 now?
And there's 3 people who need
No,
it.
just one.
Just one.
That's why I said 1.
And I didn't hear the one part.
Oh.
Sorry.
You just long rested. How do you only? Oh, because you've already cast a couple other spells.
I use spiritual weapon.
13
which is my other
points
level
of
2.
damage total.
I'm not a fighter.
As it sort of
You can hold off if you want. I'm okay
Yeah.
with 1 level of exhaustion. When my movement starts getting fucked is when I'm screwed.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's
Oh,
not,
right now I'm just gonna
this
kill you.
damage is not like acidic in nature. It sort of splatters over you, and there's no real visible like people can't notice it's doing damage. It's just all of a sudden your vision starts to wink out a bit, and it just saps your energy,
You breathe in and you're like, oh, now I'm dead.
or at least dying.
That's how I feel every day.
So it's, swamp gas.
Is there anything else that Zeph's doing?
Weeping softly.
Zeph doesn't weep softly.
Balls.
Zeph only weeps with great vigor.
An aggressive weeper.
That is a mood.
He's the tribal champion. Zeph is gonna stay there.
Zeph cries, his people
Okay.
cry.
Sounds good. Back to me. So there is one that sort of reconstituted itself.
Ways away.
But it's
from
45
ways
feet away.
Totally. So it's going to take its whole
I'm going
round
to.
and
It's like if I was chasing somebody.
where it is, yeah. And it will go straight up to Joy and basically just stop. Like it's coming right for you.
It stops 5 feet away.
No, it gets up to you. Double moves. And but that's the end of its turn. Let's see. This one's gone and this one's gone.
And the other ones are.
And the other ones are starting to reconstitute now.
How do we know the ones we killed aren't going to reconstitute?
Because they're poisoning us.
Well, I never thought about that, but thanks for the idea.
We look in the background and the griffin's starting to reform.
Remember when the
different.
Time.
It's like those old special effects.
Okay, so the others are starting to reconstitute. Are they still on
Yes,
the
they
ground,
almost
like
ate
kind
me.
of prone-ish?
No, they
On
are.
a
They are.
totem
They have reconstituted. They're up and about.
The griffin
And
is
as
like
a matter
those
of fact,
old special
they're
effects.
beginning to move
Where like
towards
you tear something apart, but then play the footage in reverse.
You,
so
the
it's super
royal you.
janky and creepy
Us,
looking.
you,
Yes.
or me. Okay, five.
The group.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's like,
Yeah. So how many of 5 total then, including the one that just got up to Joy? Yeah. Because
5 remaining,
6
yes.
fell
Mhm.
after that for and
So
then,
there's 4 more that are kind of within your vicinity,
Mhm.
and then there's that 5th one that had to
It's
kind of
front on the
Joy.
boogie towards
It's
you.
front
That's what I was
on me.
thinking. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure I'm on it.
So I will say that the other 4 are probably 5 feet away from pretty much all of you because I would
backed off.
you wait what
I moved 20 feet away.
you moved 20 feet away from the
center.
one that you were attacking. Oh, the entire group.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, cool. But I'm
First, like,
I'm just roughly saying that
Yeah.
like the ones that fell that just reconstituted, they're about like 5 feet away from generally most of you.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. So I mean, Time sees the one that is honestly next to Joy, and it sees that as like a primary foe currently, but does not want this one to explode, so she's going to experiment.
Hot.
So her staff glows like a bluish color at the the diamond at the top, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she kind of like points it towards that one and fires off a basically a chromatic ball of ice at it. Figuring that like cold would like not cause it to burst potentially. Like,
Somebody watched the stream on Sunday.
Huh? No.
Oh. We were dealing with acid and poison by freezing it.
Cool. I didn't watch that.
Oh, is that for the Infinity Break thing?
Yeah, I hit it.
Yeah, it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Hit it, I'm presuming, by a lot.
For sure. Yeah.
Cool. 13 points of cold damage to it.
Okay. Yeah, so you see that it, like half its body just sort of, and it slows it down. It sort of forces through the movement, and through that movement kind of breaks off chunks of its body.
Yeah.
Awkwardly.
I like it.
Yeah.
And
I scream!
I moved back away from the group
Worksicle.
to head back actually towards Ferg.
Okay. Kind of right next to him?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my plan.
Most excellent.
So, is there a way to not awkwardly break off parts of your body?
Gracefully break off parts of your body?
Yeah.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah,
With a
when you're,
Good
chisel.
point.
when you're proving you're a real
very
tough guy and you
pristine
like
with a
tear
chisel.
one of your own teeth
I will
out.
contemplate this on the Tree of Woe.
Cool.
It's called a chair.
Cleaver.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's right. So
Cleaver.
Cleaver is still next to Bogey. Is there another one that's right next to Bogey that's reconstituting? Or
Not right next to Bogey.
Not
no.
right next to Bogey?
Definitely about 5 feet away, but...
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
But like nothing that's right next to. So I would say like Bogey actually kind of gives like Cleaver a little bit of a look, maybe like go through like plan alpha, right? Kind of idea, which is just like Cleaver kind of sees and like navigates through the field and moves up to the one that is like ready to attack the healer.
Okay.
Right, and kind of does that same like moves around and stabs, like you're almost uncomfortable with it and that it's happening.
I'm consistently just in a constant state of being uncomfortable.
Yeah, cool.
I haven't worn
it
underwear in
comes
months.
up and stabs that one with a.
We can get you some of those too, buddy.
Thumbs up.
Underwear and a shield. That's what's on the list.
Right, these things have
That
crappy
and a
AC,
new
right?
attack spell.
That's like a 16 anyway. So two hands sort of jab with it and gets 5 points of damage.
5 points.
These things are undead, right?
Yeah, not great. But does the thing.
Nothing would indicate that they are.
Except that they're dead orcs who are chasing us.
They are something else. They
They're
are perhaps
blobby.
in orc form, but I don't think
they're
they are
actually
They
dead. I think they're, like,
evolved /
transformed.
devolved into something else.
devolved.
Yes.
But I would say that Joy, knowing as much as you know about undead in general and medicine and everything like that, you actually are pretty confident that these things would be living creatures.
Living with giant quotation marks.
But they're abhorrent living creatures.
Well, I mean, you
Yeah.
know, let's,
Aberrational, perhaps?
yeah.
I hope so.
So, Joy and Michaux.
Cool. All right. Joy, going back the fuck up, and try and get next to you to heal you up a little bit, because you seem to be the most injured of the party, right?
I am hurting,
Yeah.
but
You're
yeah.
you're a little bloody around the edges.
Yeah.
All right. So
You kind of dove into the rest of the party right after you.
I went back and engaged the one in front of Bogan Schultz. That's how she did so much damage.
Right.
Yeah.
Because she sneaked attack.
Right.
Mhm.
Got it.
so
So you're going to move towards Keth and heal Keth.
yeah. Does it get an attack of opportunity against me, or is
You
it far
weren't-
enough away?
I don't think you were next to one.
The frozen one.
Yeah. The
Oh.
frozen one you said was near me, but you didn't say if it was directly next to me.
Oh yeah, no, it was directly next to you, so yes, it will get an attack of opportunity.
Does it break up another piece of itself off?
No. But are you hit with an 11?
God no.
Yeah.
It's
So-
frozen enough that it.
What am I?
Yes.
Weak?
It's frozen enough that it actually
All right.
it isn't quick enough to reach you.
All right. I'm gonna go over.
And don't forget your spiritual weapon.
It
Oh,
should
yeah, good
attack
plan.
automatically.
Yes.
No.
Yep.
It takes a bonus action to redirect.
It takes a bonus action to move it, but it attacks every turn if there's something to
Yeah.
engage.
Right, but
Yeah.
it's not near anything. It's going to have to be redirected.
Oh.
It would have been because I cast it against a thing that was.
That's now dead.
Yeah, but they were within a couple feet of each other,
Yeah, You're
right?
going to have to redirect it.
Okay. I'll
Which
redirect
is-
it.
Yeah.
On any one in particular?
Yeah, the one that's half frozen. Gonna try and smash its head off with my little
cool beans.
My little hammer boy.
Anybody's? It's yours.
It's
got it for free at work. So.
Fucking how does spiritual weapon work? You have to make an actual attack.
Like you make nice with beer wine.
6.
Well, and also you be next
plus.
to that department.
Yeah.
And
So 11.
This is 9, by the way.
No, it was this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 11.
To hit?
Yeah.
You absolutely hit.
Cool. All right. Boop. Oh, that's 10.
Plus your wisdom bonus.
What?
It's a D8 plus your wisdom bonus.
Yeah, 7 plus 3.
7 plus 3.
Awesome, so 10.
Yeah. Yep, 10.
Right.
Radiant damage, if that matters?
It doesn't matter, but you do a significant amount of damage. It's still up and about.
Does more of it break off?
I mean, it does, but to the point where the ice is no longer like holding it back and affecting it.
All right, I'm going to now cure wounds you.
Okay.
So you get... Oh, that's not great. That is 8 hit points back.
That's a lot.
8 radiant hit points, if that matters.
Yes.
Only if you're undead.
I'm vulnerable to radiant, so therefore... That's how that works, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, if you were playing
And then what's Michaux doing?
undead necromancer...
Honestly, Michaux feels kind of overwhelmed by the stress of the situation, so is just gonna kind of keep whacking it with that shillelagh.
Okay.
Just gonna whack that shillelagh back and forth.
Whack which one?
The
Sounds like
There's
one
one on
that,
him.
yeah, there's only one that's around, right?
Yeah,
The other ones aren't fully
there's
constituted
several
yet.
of them that are around, but there's just that one that engaged you.
Yeah.
Specifically,
So that I rolled a 9.
9 hits.
Damn, these
Okay.
things are real slow.
Because I guess that's a 10 total. So.
Yeah.
And these things suck.
Yeah.
That does ass damage.
Bug pads were like 7 or 8, right? They're garbage.
6 damage.
6 damage. How does Michaux kill it?
Michaux aims very
blowing it up.
carefully for the frozen part,
Yeah.
which happens to be its head, neck, and shoulders. Gets it right in there and just
Back to you.
knocks the head like an ice statue.
Michaux is still going to get splattered by some of it, but I'm going to say that when he rolls his constitutions... Oh, who else was attacking that thing? Was anybody like up close
Nobody
and personal?
from close.
Okay.
It was trying to front on Joy, but Joy backed away.
Got it.
Why are you trying to front?
Michaux's going to make a constitution saving throw, but he's going to roll at advantage because of the frozen bits. It's not as splattery.
Yay, frozen bits.
Oh, fuck my... Something.
Because that could have been good depending on your
8.
perspective.
8.
No, didn't Michaux have the D4 as well? No, that's probably good.
Nope.
No. Okay.
Well, unfortunately, it just kind of the way it hit, it caused some of its other unfrozen parts to still splatter all over you. So
Come on, Michaux.
Michaux is going to take 1 level of exhaustion plus...
Oh, you get to use your bless. You forgot about that. You blessed Michaux.
I didn't bless Michaux.
Oh, I thought you
I blessed
oh,
your 2 NPCs in
I-
time.
Yep.
14 points of poison damage.
God.
Fuck.
That's not you.
I know.
I'm not going to find that die.
Michaux was like, oh.
Lost
Like you said,
in
we're
the-
not friends, and I don't care if Michaux dies.
Michaux was like, oh, this
Yeah.
is unfortunate.
Yeah, disgusting. But
I feel tired.
so
This
one
is
level
my least
exhaustion,
favorite slushy.
Keth.
Keth. So Keth knows that he can punch. Then basically, he is going to. There's like one kind of near him, ish. They're like you said. They're all kind of around, right?
Yeah. All you gotta do is really move like 5 feet.
Right. So he saw how effective it was, like getting in one's face and kind of letting Bogey and Schultz come up from behind. So he's gonna move forward and engage the closest one to their little group.
Okay.
And he's gonna like kind of do like an upward like backswing with his one-handed with his freaking staff.
Yep.
That is gonna hit a lot.
Yep.
And then
Oh, wait, no, that's a special thing. No, that's not a special thing.
that is gonna be 4 points of damage.
4
And as
points.
the staff like hits this way and its head goes up, he's gonna come and like uppercut like from the other side.
Okay.
And just like flurry of blows and just like kind of just land a couple punches really quick while it's like still, collecting itself from the hit.
Bring the pain. So that's an extra 2 attacks?
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
17 plus 5, and then a 4 plus 5, so a 9 and a 20-something.
A 9 and 20, yeah.
They
Definitely.
both hit.
Yep.
And then That is going to be 4 and 2 plus 3 each. So 7 and
12.
Yes.
12 points?
12 points of punchy damage.
All right.
And then it has no reactions until its next turn. And it has to make a saving throw or a dex save or it's prone. Because I said so.
Okay.
I basically punch it so hard that its feet kind of lift off the ground, and it's like...
Yeah. I feel like we talked about this. It's not one or the other, it's one and the other?
And it's either... I can either make them prone, or I can push them away, and they have no reactions until their next turn. When I hit with the flurry of blows.
Okay.
So, and I'm choosing to do the prone one, and it's a dex save, or I can choose to do the pushed away, and it's a strength save. But I'm doing the prone for a dex.
Got it.
These things dex of -4.
Yeah, did not make it.
So, like, yeah, like I said, like, the second hit just, like, kind of, like, picked it up off its feet a little bit, and it just, like crumples to the ground.
Yeah.
And as it's, like, kind of as all this is happening, Bogenschultz is gonna, like, come up behind and just, like, sneak attack hard.
Yeah, done.
So, sneak attack is an 18.
Yeah, definitely hits.
And then multi-attack, the second attack is going to hit 2.
Okay, so I'm definitely going to say with the sneak attack, you are going to kill it. So
yeah. I'd be rolling 676 right now.
It splatters, so both you and Bogey need to make Constitution saving throws.
I figured that was going to happen.
Yeah.
But Bogey gets the +4 from the blast. Or the die from the blast.
And that means we've killed...
Can we make him an advantage since
4
I
out
knocked
of
it
7.
prone? Like,
No,
it's not as,
5?
like, in our faces. It's more,
This
like,
would
on
be
the
5.
ground.
This is 5 out of 7.
It was worth a shot.
I know.
This is Bogey's. Bogey got a 14 plus 2 is a 16.
That's what you need, yeah.
And Kethkin got a 10. Oh, a 9. My bad. I know my ads.
Math! So Keth takes 12 points of damage and is exhausted. Another level of exhaustion. And Bogenschultz only takes 6 points.
Is that already, like, with the reduced... No, I take 3. Yeah.
No, it's 6 with the reduced.
It's 6 or 12.
Right, but I'm also resistant to poison.
Oh,
Good
yeah,
call. Yeah, totally.
So I was like asking if you'd already halved it, and then I was like, no, it's because I saved, and I was just not using my words. Sorry, guys.
No, that's totally fine. But that...
And Keth looks really bad. I'm not trying to kill him
doing
today,
my
I
best.
promise.
How many levels of exhaustion do you have?
He has 2 right now. So
4 is fatal?
Disadvantage on ability checks,
6?
and then now my movement's halved, right? Or now I have disadvantage on attacks.
Now your movement is halved.
Okay, but my
Oh
movement
no, you
is...
can only move 35 feet.
Right.
Wow, now you walk like a normal person.
you walk like a normal person speed walking.
I'm like walking. I'm like, is this how you guys feel all the time?
I'm like,
I'm so slow.
That is me sprinting.
Fine, what are you talking about?
Berg.
Keth's like out of breath.
So I want to ask you if I can do a thing.
I'm ready.
Yes.
With Charger.
Charger, hardly know it.
I am... So Charger means that I have to dash. But what I would like to do is run at one of them since I'm 20 feet away, smack the hell out of it, and then move the other 40 feet and end up 40 feet away. Is that cool?
I don't see why not.
Awesome.
I have you read anything that would lead me to believe that you can't do
Nope.
that? Oh, well then, yeah, totally.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
So...
And the attack that you do with Charger, that's part of your action, correct?
No, that's a bonus.
It's a bonus action.
Yeah. So
technically, if you dashed and hit as that ability, then you could keep moving and attack again if you'd like.
How?
Well, if you're...
I have to take... So for Charger, I have to take dash as my action.
Oh, right.
So,
Right.
Yeah.
I got you.
So I can either dash as my action and a bonus action attack, or I can attack as my action and bonus action dash. That's what I have right now.
Okay, done.
So yeah, we are dashing at who is...
So there's 2 of them that have not been damaged at all.
Yep.
So...
And it killed 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's 2 of them that have not been damaged at all. There's one that actually looks really bad off, and then there's one that... What, you've killed 4?
We've killed 4.
Me and Bogey have killed 2.
Right.
I killed 1.
Michaux killed
I
1.
forgot to
Michaux
cross
killed
off that one. So there's 2 that haven't been damaged, and 1 that has taken a little bit of damage from...
Let's be real, Bogey killed
forget
2.
what.
Yeah.
We'll go for the one that's taken a little bit of damage.
Okay.
So we are going to run at it.
Yep.
Attack. Fuck my life. I need to inspire that. That was some bullshit.
Get inspired.
What's the total?
7.
Just not enough, probably.
Yeah, I'm assuming 7 was not a hit.
I cannot reveal. I cannot confirm nor deny.
Tell you do something to
Can't
it.
you?
I don't think so. Not if you're gonna use inspiration.
Well, inspiration is for when you fail.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
It's a fucking fail.
Just confirm that I know that I failed. Jesus. That's much better.
Yeah, that's definitely a hit.
Okay.
All of you guys.
So, it also means that it is taking, instead of +5 damage, +10 damage.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the thing about Charger is if you attack instead of shove, you get an extra 5.
A little extra love.
So that is
Nice roll.
Your boar technique.
19 points of damage.
19 points of damage?
Yep.
Okay.
And then I end up 40 feet past it on the other side of the group.
And I do not get an attack of opportunity? Or attack of opportunity at disadvantage?
Attack of opportunities are always at disadvantage while I'm raging.
Right. Will, why did you shake your head no?
Well, not while you're raging.
Yes.
Is that the ability?
Yes.
Just. Okay. So that's the wolf ability or whatever that is. The raven.
The eagle, but
Eagle.
raven,
Eagle. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I do not hit you.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying just generally when I'm raging as a barbarian, all of my.
No,
You just go so quick that
because
it,
of that totem path.
you just go so quick that it can't even turn around to engage you.
Yeah, this is like Bird coming through golf swings.
You just hear choo choo. What's going on? Go, murder train.
Yeah, Tommy thought he was a murder train. Berg's a real murder train.
OG murder train.
I do too. Miss you.
Okay.
You're climbing a mountain.
And then
Joy is like a
Oh yeah,
happiness metro.
we'll
then Zeph. So
after Zeph we will take a break.
Cool. I have to pee so bad.
Do it right here.
Oh, please don't. I'm sitting next to you.
It's not a bench seat. Calm down.
Zeph
I've been on the
is gonna go for
72
the
enough
one
today.
that he just saw Ferg like run a murder train on. God,
That way, that
sounds
way,
like
that
a
way.
really scary porno.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was not even gonna say that when you said that. I was like, ooh,
I'm listening.
murder train.
Sign me up. Wait, who's in that?
Yeah. And if you kill this thing, it's sort of like Bukkake.
Because it sprays everywhere?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's the opposite of
We all
Bukkake.
paused because we all knew it was bad. Reverse bukkake.
Yeah.
Reverse Bukkake.
It's just one
You
person
spray and
spraying
everybody
everywhere.
crowds you. I'm okay with this. Continue.
You just spin in a circle really
Yup.
fast.
Yup.
That's a 9.
Would that work?
Plus 5.
Yeah, no, you hit.
plus, so
Definitely.
16.
Really hope Toby's not watching.
These creatures are not hard to hit.
Not hard to hit unless you roll fucking 2
But
like I did.
hit odd.
It's like it's totally lames.
And then so same thing. We're gonna do a stab and slash. So
Stab and
Stab and
slash.
slash.
Two-handed.
Stab and slash.
oh, that's so sad. 5 points of damage.
Cute.
How does Zeph kill it?
Nice.
It's gonna pop on him again though.
It's very true.
So again,
Can you knock him unconscious
stab
instead?
and
Bless.
slash downward.
Okay.
Trying to mitigate as much splashing as possible.
Well, these creatures just, I mean,
They
the
pop
amount of
like
like
six.
pustules
They're
and
gushers,
tumors
yo.
that are,
Yeah.
they're gushers. Constitution
Ugh.
saving throw.
Like a fruit
The
gusher.
Constitution saving throw is like, it's not if, but when.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying ugh because Zeph's the other one who has 1 exhaustion, and then we're both gonna have 2.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I made it.
Made it.
17.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
But
you-
when you look at it, did you look at that or it's plus
No,
4?
Zeph, flow.
I think you looked at a +2 than last time that Zeph took one to the face.
Yeah, Constitution though, right?
Yeah, but saving throws is con 4.
Oh.
You've been using that, but I think
they were so low last time.
The other one
was super low anyway.
Yeah.
Well, you rolled an 11. 13 might have passed, but it's already happened.
I think you need a 15 at least to pass.
I'm not
13
13
works for you.
So,
but Zeph does take 9
I
points
just
of
rolled
poison
13
damage.
last round. I got
Just no exhaustion.
You've done a 13 without
And we will take a quick break, y'all.